Citi 97.9.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. Above the noise.
Nine after 6, Friday morning. Brand new sound. Bethel Revival Choir, revving up your morning on a note of praise. Earlier you heard Christo Tol, Michwa say, believers dance to the Lord, for he is good, his mercies endure forever. In all thy getting, get a heart of thanksgiving, because the true measure of your wealth is not in what you get, what you amass, or what you give. To live is to give. So we are up this morning and we are giving thanks for life, for grace, for opportunity, for mercies, for God has been good. So this will be released today. It's called the Victory Praise. Don't wait to see signs of victory before you start singing and dancing. Sometimes you have to envision the victory and start preparing towards it. So indeed, Takuvio Naiji, the handkerchief should be up, and dance to the Lord, for his victory is coming your way. We're looking forward to them. While we wait, we celebrate what he's giving us, which is life, which is giftings, which is opportunity. So don't take for granted what he has given you while you look forward to what you expect to receive. Don't take for granted what he's giving you. And in the haste for so many things, a wise man once wrote that go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. There's a lot of haste, a lot of noise out there, so a lot of people are finding comfort in joining the motion because there is a lot of traffic and haste. But trust me, one long step in the right direction is better than a million hasty steps in the wrong direction. One good company is better than to be in a crowd that is not meant for you. And if you're doing anything and everything because people are doing it, well, the message for you this morning: if you run on a borrowed vision, you will always be in deficit of provision. If you run on a borrowed vision, you always run deficits on provision. So be sure that your race is towards the vision that is assigned for you, because the provision will always be allocated for the vision that is meant for you. It's 32 after 6. Some reflections to start your morning. We call it Business Sense. Thank you for always choosing us. Thank you for always making us your number one. We have a vision. We are running towards it. And we are happy to have you to be a part of this vision. Join us. It's an interactive show. 0549 986 996 is the number. 0549 986 996. Takuvio Naiji, I see you're dancing. Yes, dance to their victory, because the Lord has always won it already. He's already done that, as he has to walk into. We'll bring you the news review shortly, brought to you by Piva Beverages, Excellium, Total, Excellium, and Fidelity Bank. Piva Beverages, while you dance to the victory, and you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, discover the refreshing taste of Piva Beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. We have a fruity adventure for you in the delightful Piva Orange fruit drink, packed with recognized citrus flavor. If you're craving something exotic, Piva Cocktail fruit drink brings you the tropics. We have a sweet and juicy treat for you in the grapefruit drink. Refreshing Piva Tangy fruit drink is there for you as well, bursting with tangerine flavor. So look out for it. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, and Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. You're available now at your local store. Call us 0550-032-231. Piva Beverages, a taste you will love. And have you heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energy's amazing premium fuel? 3-in-1 power. It cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. Anti-corrosion, anti-wear, detergent additives. With all these cumulative effects, Excellium lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing CO2 emissions. You will drive safe. Experience the difference with Total Energy's Excellium. New formula: choose Excellium, choose quality. And Fidelity Bank says, from the dreams of youth to the ambitions of adulthood, wherever you are on your journey, starting a career, building a family, growing a business, or planning your future, we're here for your journey. Every goal deserves the chance to flourish, and with hard work, dedication, and a strong belief in yourself, seeds of greatness is within reach. So trust in the journey and understand that Fidelity Bank is with you every step of the way. Together, let's turn your dreams into reality. We are here for your journey. Believe with us. Join us. It's an interactive show. Let's dance to victory.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva Beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Go me. Now what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
Go, the go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
My body, when you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling. Oh, you go work, but you know it's out in your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, oh, cause you know it's out in your side. And when you dream, no say I live for you. And when you hustle every day, when you wanna go, anything you do, I live for you. If I believe I live your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I live your side, fidelity.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
The City Breakfast Show.
Sure he gon' make a way. On his road, the only load is how to reach safely. Take me to my destination, and I'll be grateful.
39 after 6, jumping into the news review. Great song is called Adego Cam by Jidu. Always encouraging you to drive defensively when you're on the road. Yeah. Look out for others. Don't overtake in a curve.
No matter that.
Consider your speed as well when you're driving. It's very important. This time, dear Charlie, I tend to
become an apostle
road safety advocate because Charlie.
No, you don't even need to.
It's been 2 weeks. I almost died.
It was Friday, around 5 a.m.
First, much so
crossed you unceremoniously.
Charlie.
And now you are in the neck.
I'm telling you.
A neck.
I can't wait to take it off. It's
so how long are you supposed to wear it?
I don't even know. I'll call the doctor.
So you can't turn your neck.
I have to be careful. It's supporting the movement of
otherwise
the
you hear kak. It's not easy.
So Charlie, guys, please be mindful on the road, and also for pedestrians. We know there are not a lot of walkways and all, but don't be walking on the road and be looking on your phone. And I think that let's take responsibility for how we go about things.
Definitely. The Galamsey pressure is hitting. The minister is saying a lot of things. The Daily Graphic lead story. We will deal with Galamsey ruthlessly.
Okay.
Ban state of emergency, other options on the table. Lands Minister. He's photographed here at a press conference. Meanwhile, GRA assures refund of e-levy deductions after abolition.
Okay.
Chief of Staff Finance Chiefs discuss innovative financing models and private participation in ECG. Technical Committee recommends 3 models. That's in the daily graphic for today.
Okay, I have Ghanaian Times here. Government to restrict $6.2 billion excavator imports to check illegal mining. This is Boa talking.
The pressure is mounting.
Yes, this pressure is really mounting. And the president also is big on the Ramsar sites and in checking flooding. He says, restore Malam Ramsar site. President orders Kitech Motors.
Straight.
And then Feed Ghana program set to be rolled out April 11. This is our great minister speaking. Strengthen cybersecurity laws to prevent online gender-based violence. A very important call coming from the Media Foundation for West Africa.
If you go to the Daily Guide, 2 arrested with ECG cables in Cape Coast. US slaps 10% tariff on Ghana and other countries. Donald Trump is photographed on the front page of the guide. SP arrests journalists via private jet remarks. That's Godina Saribidiako. And then recollated results. Supreme Court gives NDC 7 days to respond. This is in respect of Okaikwe Central.
Right. The Herald is saying Reverend Intim Fojo's April Fool's Day drugs and money claims collapse. Government denies allegations. Air Med breaks silence on flight movement. Now Napo and his special boy scapegoat vibrant Ashanti regional minister in search of NPP's love back in stronghold. Now ministers face imprisonment for fiscal mismanagement as new financial laws enforce stricter oversight and sanctions. Atuforcing is speaking tough here. Energy minister sends multi-million-dollar missing container case for criminal probe. Michael Kwei's report on MPP's 2024 defeat delays, but an illegal cafe sparks outrage in Regimanuel. Manette Estates residents demand closure over security concerns.
The Chronicle has 2 big stories. Government names 7 reclaimed forest reserves. So Amakofiboa's press conference yesterday getting a lot of airtime front pages. Meanwhile, 7 Abongo boys ran amok in Kumasi, allegedly beat 2 Asafo BB boys to death for stealing iPhone 15 Pro Max. That's the Chronicle's lead story this morning.
The Ghanaian publisher, government owes Zoomlion 1.2 billion Ghana cedis. Minister Hale's company. Now, Kwachio Fusu light. No agency has invited me. This is Reverend Intim Fojo pushing back. GMA mad at Mahama over suspension of waiver on vehicles. And Bushmeat Traders and Hunters Farm Association. Meanwhile, Speaker approves arrest of 2 MPs.
Bushmeat Traders and Hunters.
Yeah, man. This unity is threat.
The Daily Analyst is also leading with Galamsey. No safe haven for illegal miners. Lands Minister declares. GJ present to attend the elite jamboree in Dubai. 57% of MPP supporters prefer Baumia, according to Global Info Analytics. And Parliament grants request for 2 MPs to appear before NIB.
So AG's no-show in Latif Idrisu's assault trial raises concerns. The news center is leading with this one. And then also banking on the future, how EcoBank is empowering Ghana's youth. That's here. GMA furious over suspension of duty waivers on vehicles. That's here. BOG policy rate hike. MPC's 3 to 2 vote and reasons. The details are here. And Blue White, is that a Blue Wet? The multifaceted MTN CEO, a pilot, author, chartered accountant, marathon runner, and many more.
If you go to the custodian, MPs commended for their dedication. There's a nice photo of the former president, the former vice, and leadership of the MPP, I believe, at a birthday event.
Yeah.
Also, Lands Minister declares illegal miners dangerous terrorists. This is Amakofibo talking tough. And then, of course, Zoomlion is owed 1.2 billion according to the Minister for Local Government. And then there's a new cover price. It has now moved to 5 Ghana cedis. So prepare.
Daily Post this morning, Galamsey Muntaka orders immediate transfer of police commanders in mining areas. They say you're moving. And aircraft with drugs in Team Fojo chickens out on invitation by security agencies. This is Kwachi Ofosu here.
The Catholic Standard Church calls for interfaith peace for national development. And there's also middle income countries require more debt-free investment to develop. And then editorial, repeal LI 2462, not amend it. I love the Standard. Meanwhile, National Vultures Award to be instituted to expose corrupt officials. So an award for corrupt officials.
And it's called National Vultures Award.
Yes, those who are eating our money. So that's going to happen soon.
All right. So Daily just says Mahama confirms the arrest of $350 million cocaine, and OSP slaps 5 million Ghana cedis bail on Gordon, bans him from traveling. 2028 presidential race. Who leads the NPP? Comes to the photographs of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Brian Champon, Kennedy Japan, and Dr. Osei Yao Educhum. Dubik runs from ECG container scandal, and Dan Paris snubs former IG's Parley. Daily just
Before we go into the details of the papers, if you can give me
Inquisitor,
and then you do the online story. So let me do the Inquisitor, then you do the online. Inquisitor is Talk Nadu.
All right.
Or the Nigerians call it Otokinadu.
Yeah, man.
More funds for JDM for abolishing nuisance taxes.
Okay. Gold
Board comes alive. Sami Jemfi photographed here. NAPO supports Edum fire market fire victims, and Fidelity Bank committed to CSR and SME. So 4 big stories.
Dr. Baumia was at Edum, right?
That was much earlier.
And Napo was not with him.
No.
And he's gone on his own.
Everybody's going separate. Kennedy also went.
All right.
In fact, Patrick Boama was also there.
Hey, Charlie.
Charlie,
I want to be part of
everybody's going. I should go next week.
You
understand? I go and do my donation.
Seriously, channel1news.com. Vetting chaos was regrettable. I apologize. This is Dapper Mokpo speaking. Security checks found no contraband on aircraft. This is Kwachio Fosu. Allowances for students abroad to be increased. Foreign Minister is assuring Team Fojo avoiding investigation after spreading lies. Kwachio Fosu again, and he also says alleged suspicious planes grounded at KIA due to technical issues. He explains now. Land Minister declares illegal miners dangerous terrorists amid escalating environmental crisis. Speaker releases A+ Mustafa Yusuf to NIB for questioning. And in the Western North, police arrest 2 illegal miners. They arrest 2 for illegal possession and discharge of firearms at funeral. 107 foreigners deported over Galamsey activities, Muntaka is revealing, and is directing the immediate transfer of police commanders in mining areas. Also, pay bills to avoid disconnection, Netco to customers.
Okay, let's go to more websites.
CityNewsroom.com this morning. Interior Minister is here again. He's calling for private partnership to boost agriculture and security in prisons. Galamsey fight will restrict excavator imports. Lands Minister is saying. Now, premix fuel pricing will be standardized nationwide. The Mokpo is speaking. Government to scrap COVID-19 levy in next budget. This is a Blackwell. Minority concerned about Aponyo Markin's leadership style. The Mokpo again. In Team Fojo is here as well. Government bent on hiding information, evading accountability. And if you go on a bit, you will see Galamsey fight will restrict import. Yes, that's
so. The Galamsey story is doing pretty well.
It's all over the place, Bernard. If you go to My Joy Online, they lead with until markets stop being homes, fire outbreaks will persist. Greater Accra Fire Commander says minority criticizes government over silence on U.S. tariffs, warns of missed after opportunity, and Mahama must hold meetings over Trump's tariffs. This is Apia Kusi Adomako. Jobs are going to be affected. Trade expert warns of fallout from Trump tariffs. U.S. tariff hike exposes Ghana's weak export strategy. Minority caucus is pushing back. Ghana remains important to U.S. no matter what. This is the U.S. ambassador. If I take you to Star FM this morning, very quickly, financial institutions meet chief of staff ahead of second Kwewu Business Forum. U.S. government's 10% tariff, a big blow to Ghana Importers and Exporters Association. Backbin approves NIB's request to interrogate 2 MPs. World Bank is dismissing speculations on suspension of Ghana-funded projects. This was over the over allegations that over the sacking of some appointees. If I take you elsewhere to the CNN now, Trump's self-inflicted tariff crisis sparks global shocks. Better.
All right, now, so this is what I'm going to do. The Galamsey stories are many. I'll just sort of put them together. The graphic basically deals with a number of angles. We'll deal with Galamsey ruthlessly. Now, the Minister for Lands yesterday had a press conference, and he's saying that everything is on the table. Don't forget, there are about 4 big issues. So the issue of a state of emergency, which we pushed, and he's not really said yes, but he's now telling us it's still on the table. Restriction of imports of excavators is on the table, according to him. Then he's also saying that the LI 2462 maybe, because you know the concern is that amending it doesn't really do it.
Yeah.
And that you need to revoke it. He believes that that's also still on the table. So the point is that yesterday's press conference, I believe, was part of response to the growing pressure on the government to put its money where its mouth is in relation to Galamsey.
Absolutely.
Then 2 developments. The Chronicle gives you 7 reclaimed forest reserves. So while stating what he wants to continue doing, some things have been done already.
Okay.
Addressing the press conference yesterday, Minister Bua said the reclaimed forest reserves include Jimira and Jimira Extension, Afua Hills, Tano Anwea, Ofin Shelter Bed, Anweaso East and Anweaso South, and Subri. He also said efforts are underway to reclaim the remaining 2, Asenayo and Desiri. And he spoke about the Joint Military Task Force conducting targeted operations in high-risk districts across the Ashanti, Western and Western North regions, leading to significant seizures and arrests. Then he also declares Galamseyers as terrorists.
Dangerous terrorists.
Whether that means that he will declare state of emergency in those places is not clear.
Yeah.
But the minister says will not allow a few people to make money at the expense of all of us.
Okay.
They are terrorists. They are killing us.
Yo.
And we cannot allow this to continue. So the question is, so what are you going to do? Now the Times angle is that he's saying they will restrict imports of the
Correct.
excavators.
That's here. Government to restrict $6.2 billion excavator imports to check illegal mining. Kingsley Asari Riser. Ghana is set to restrict the importation of excavators into the country. Minister of Lands and Natural Resources Emmanuel Amakufibua has reviewed. So that's the angle here. Meanwhile, Interior Minister is also directing the immediate transfer of police commanders in mining areas.
Yeah.
And the directive, which is effective immediately, aims to replace officers who have served in these locations for extended periods without effectively addressing illegal mining activities. Muntaka outlined the decision as part of tougher measures to curb Galamsey. He indicated that commanders stationed in mining areas will be reassigned to non-mining areas, while newly appointed officers will take over their duties. These new appointees have been given a 3-month window to demonstrate their effectiveness in tackling illegal mining or face reassignment.
And then finally, the Catholic Standard has joined the chorus. Repeal LI 2462, do not amend it. And I think it's well articulated on page 4. Second story, the president has been touring potential flood-prone areas.
So he's been to the Malam Ramsar side. I believe this is Pambros. And he says restore Malam Ramsar side. That's Pambros Ramsar side. President orders Kitech Motors. Julius Yaupetechi writes in the center spread of Ghanaian Times that President John Dramani Mahama has ordered the restoration of a Ramsar site and a water retention basin at the Malam Junction in Accra. The site, which lies beneath the Malam Junction interchange, has virtually been filled with gravel and turned into a plain field in readiness for habitation by the private firm Kitech Motors. Remove all the gravels you have deposited here. Take it back to where you brought it from at your own cost.
Correct.
The President Mahama ordered on Wednesday.
I like
More
the graphics angle by Kester Crunchy. He says that the president embarked on a tense inspection tour of flood-prone areas in the capital, where illegal construction on wetlands and watercourses had worsened flooding. He mentioned the places visited, including Abofu, Achimota Bridge, Malam Junction, and the notorious Odona Drainage Basin. Now, the president was accompanied by Regional Minister Akwele Linda Oklu, Minister for Works and Housing Kenneth Gilbert J, Chairman of the Anti-Flood Task Force and Deputy Chief of Staff Stan Dogbe, as well as officials from NADMO. Now, here's the angle. Visibly furious at the sight of block drainage systems and buildings erected on what were once natural bird sanctuaries, the president issued a stern directive for the immediate demolition of all structures on watercourses. At each stop, the president's frustration grew as he observed how unchecked construction and choked drains had turned once free-flowing watercourses into their traps. What I'll say to him is that let that anger lead to appointment of proper people for the Greater Accra assemblies. The list is not yet out. Look at the scale of the lawlessness and appoint people accordingly. That's all I'll say.
People cannot be compromised.
That's the whole point, because
deal with the issue.
This type of thing has happened because people who manage our spaces have gone to sleep. So I hope the anger is channeled, in addition to the directive, to appointing people who can actually carry out his instructions.
Absolutely. Now, on appointing such people, ministers face imprisonment for fiscal management as new financial laws enforce stricter oversight and sanctions. That story is in the Herald newspaper. here, ministers face imprisonment for fiscal mismanagement. So ministers of state and heads of entities may face potential imprisonment for actions that contribute to fiscal slippages. This follows the Ministry of Finance's announcement of the passage of the Public Financial Management Amendment Act 2025, a landmark piece of legislation aimed at strengthening fiscal discipline, accountability, and long-term economic stability in Ghana.
Now, the Daily Guide is leading with the 10% tariff on many countries. Indeed, every country got a higher one. The lowest was 10. So the 10 was the lowest for Ghana and the rest of the world. The US has imposed a 10% tariff on Ghana and several other countries as part of sweeping trade measures authorized by President Donald Trump. The move, which follows a series of executive orders, and mind you, an executive order is basically something a president does without recourse to the legislature. This has raised concern about its impact on international trade and diplomatic relations. Now, Ghana is a key U.S. trade partner among the nations affected by the 10% baseline tariff, which targets exports entering the U.S. The base tariff will go into effect on April 5, and some countries that will face it include Ghana, the UK, Guinea, Burundi, Gambia, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Singapore, and Brazil. These are all countries considered pretty close to the U.S. Others are Australia, New Zealand, Turkey, Colombia, Argentina, El Salvador, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Benin, Barbados, Monaco, Bolivia, and Panama. And now, the outlook is that this could affect trade, world growth. The IMF director is saying that this is not necessarily good for the world's economy. Locals are saying the president should call a meeting to discuss this. And there's a lot of fallout from this.
Jobs are going to be affected. Trade experts are warning of the fallout from Trump's tariff. Meanwhile, the United States ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer, is assuring that Ghana remains important to us no matter what. Now, her comments come in the wake of what you already know. She says no matter what the change in language, how we express it, or the change in focus, Ghana is a really important partner to the United States and will continue to be so. The United States is behind Ghana's economic recovery through institutions like the World Bank and the IMF, as well as American business interests. There's going to be a big trade mission, which I can't announce yet, but it's coming.
The 1844 story is in many papers. The Herald's angle is that the information minister or minister for communications describing the claims by Intim Fojo as an April Fool's Day joke. Mr. Fosu stated this in an explanation posted on his X page yesterday, emphasizing that the president's directive for the security agencies to engage Reverend Intim Fojo for more information, the latter had altered his assertion after this. Meanwhile, there's another paper reporting that Intim Fojo says he's not been invited to go anywhere, so you can get all the papers and get a full angle.
That's actually online, so you can get that detail a bit later.
And then finally, Herald's editorial, ECG missing containers. John Jinapomas carried NDC media along. I don't know what he means by NDC media, but it seems as if there's also different angles to this.
Yes, he's arguing that some of the media outlets are distorting the outcomes of the committee's report. So
maybe just publish the report for people to read, and then we'll see how it goes.
But the final one is on the back page of Ghanaian Times. Just a headline: Ghana's economy remains largely informal. This is the government statistician reminding us of what we already know.
And this was a 10-year view. It's very sad. 2014, 2024. The economy is still, I mean, we should just work with that and see how we can develop our country.
Right, thank you. So that was the news review. The City Business News is up shortly with Netele Netiajaho.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. This is the City Breakfast Show.
I would up on the beat. Sim, where them a chat about? Turn up.
I tell you this here with the business news, City Business News, brought to you by EcoBank. Absa and Girl, EcoBank says the City Business News brought to you proudly by EcoBank, MTN, and Guel. EcoBank says every day people face different emergencies, police emergencies, fire emergencies, medical, and you just name it. But many Ghanaians don't know their emergency numbers. Well, here's one you don't want to forget. Star 770 hash. Yes, star 770 hash. That's the new EcoBank money emergency number. Star 770 hash. It gives you instant access to loans, fund transfers, utility payments, airtime and data purchases. So much more even without data. So there is no need to panic when you find yourself in any money emergency. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial star 770 hash now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Good morning to you, Nateli Neti Ajaho.
Good morning, Caleb, and good morning out there. Welcome to the breakfast edition of the City Business News. The bulletin is proudly brought to you by EcoBank, MTN, and GOIL. I am Netili Neti Ajao. Let's go straight to our stories. And the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, has expressed concerns over the new tariffs, stating that they clearly represent a significant risk to the global outlook at a time of sluggish growth. She added that the IMF is still assessing the macroeconomic implications of these measures. Georgieva stressed the importance of avoiding actions that could harm the global economy further and called on the United States and its trading partners to engage constructively to resolve trade tensions and reduce uncertainty. Meanwhile, the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, in a statement, is urging the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to engage the appropriate channels to reconsider the tariff imposition. It also wants local stakeholders to meet urgently to assess the potential damage and devise mitigation strategies. Beyond diplomacy, the association is also calling on the government to roll out support for exporters through incentives and relief measures to cushion the blow from the new trade policy. Still on the 10% tariff imposition, the Association of Ghana Industries has stressed the need for Ghana to develop its own raw materials to reduce dependence on international suppliers. AGI believes that engaging local scientists to produce and commercialize essential raw materials will help lessen the over-reliance on external resources. The Greater Accra Regional Chairman of AGI, Chonam Akpelo, has been speaking on the issue.
The main raw materials used in manufacturing sanitary pads are from the US markets. So naturally, a tariff increment would affect not only the cost of production, eventual price that this product will be priced in the market. So it is important that we quickly develop a local alternative raw material. We have to engage our innovators and scientists to begin to look at how we can commercialize some of the innovations that will help us to create the raw materials for our factories to operate. We probably may not have a lot of time, and so it's important that all of these are done very quickly so that we can together create the environment that will allow us to trade between us as Africans and to minimize export to the US market.
That was the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chonam Akpelo. Now, Dr. Naomi Wolali Kwete has been appointed Managing Director of the Consolidated Bank Ghana. Her appointment forms part of a broader leadership restructuring, which also sees seasoned banker Sheila Azuntaba named Deputy Managing Director. Sheila brings on board a robust background in investment and commercial banking with experience spanning West and East Africa. The appointments made by the President are expected to strengthen CBG's executive team and drive its strategic growth agenda. In a letter cited by City Business News and addressed to the board of the chairman of CBG, the Finance Minister Dr. Atuforsen directed the bank to regularize the appointments in line with the Companies Act 2019 and the bank's constitution. The government is set to collaborate with private sector players and investors to cultivate 10,000 hectares of cocoa, a move aimed at boosting supply and strengthening Ghana's position in the global cocoa market. Minister for Food and Agriculture Dr. Eric Opoku disclosed that the initiative will not only enhance production but also drive economic growth by ensuring value addition. Speaking at a press conference, he also stressed that the government is taking a supervisory role to guarantee that all other partnerships in the broader agricultural value chain yield maximum benefits for the sector.
We are even bringing in some investors. They are partnering Ghanaians to go into 10,000 hectares of cocoa production. And they are saying that they will also establish a processing plant to add value before they export. So we are in touch with the private sector in the production as well as the marketing. But the most important point we want them to be part is the marketing aspect. Because When you go to Tanoso in the Techiman area, Ofumai in the same area, Tiobodom in that area, they produce a lot of tomatoes. When you interact with the farmers, their complaint is that they are not getting markets. So when they produce in abundance, because tomatoes are perishable, within a short time, everything goes waste, they don't get anything. So is it possible we can do something to secure market for them? We said, yes, we can do that for you. So
that was the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Eric Opoku. Now let's have a quick market check on the currency board across some forex bureaus. And the dollar is going for 15 cedis 90 pesos, the British pound for 20 cedis 40 pesos, the euro for 16 cedis 78 pesos. Remember that these rates are being offered by the forex bureaus to the public. And that's it for the breakfast edition of the City Business News. It was brought to you by EcoBank, MTN and GOIL. For more news, visit citynewsroom.com/business. I am Netile Neti. Have a good business day.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Wale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Massa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
8 after 7. We'll be getting into the business edition shortly. Today we are talking about a great woman in business. I'm talking to her seasoned fintech entrepreneur, Angela Tramatin Jimo. Conversation that will give you some direction, inspiration, and clarity as well. Previously held key roles at IBM, Microsoft, and now the founder and CEO of Brainwave Tech Africa, a firm dedicated to delivering innovative business solutions across the continent. We're bringing you that conversation shortly for our City Business Edition. In the meantime, if you're looking for a delicious snack for both kids and adults, try Bell Moo flavored milk. Bell Moo comes in chocolate and sweet strawberry flavors, perfect for any time of the day for your lunch boxes, after school snacks, or a quick pick-me-up. For bulk distribution, please call 0544 335 900, 0544 335 800. Bell Moo is maliciously delicious, another quality product from Bell Aqua. Stone Boy calls this one Go Higher. You can go higher with Telecel. If you're looking for the best value, data and voice offers that are tailored to your unique needs, Telecel understands everyone has their own preference. That's why we have the unbeatable Made For Me bundles made just for you to go higher. Made For Me bundles are affordable, customized data and voice packages personalized for you. Simply dial *530# or download the Telecel Play app to subscribe to your special Made For Me bundle. Telecel, connecting energies. If you're sending money to Nigeria, Gambia, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Kenya, Djibouti, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, it's very easy, convenient, and exciting through the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems (PAPS). can send and receive money from any of these countries in minutes for business and personal purposes. All you need to do is to visit any of the First Bank Ghana branches nationwide with your cash, and your money is transferred in no time.
Sitting in the book of life, none of them stop timing.
To receive money, all you need is a First Bank Ghana account. There's one way we'll put you first. Find out more about PAPS. Call 0596 921 921. First Bank, you first. So let's get into the Citi Business Edition this morning, shall we? Ni Latte, my colleague here, he sits with a great woman, Angela Trematin Jumo. And she is one of Ghana's most accomplished female business leaders, a seasoned tech and finance entrepreneur. She's held key roles at IBM, Microsoft, and is now the founder and CEO of Brainwave Tech Africa, a firm dedicated to delivering innovative business solutions across the continent. She has been a trailblazer, achieving several firsts in the companies she has worked with. So stay tuned for this insightful conversation on her journey and impact. We'll be right back.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Please wait. Please wait. Please wait until I get my new car. Please wait until I find my real size. I'm gonna get me some love, somebody. My girl, sweet girl, my girl. I can see all your joy.
97.3 Citi FM. This is another episode of the Citi Business Edition. My name is Ni Latte. Today on the show, we are talking technology, we are talking finance, we are talking entrepreneurship. My guest, a trailblazer, doing a lot of things in the tech, finance, and entrepreneurship space. She's won a number of awards. She has some international footprint, doing some amazing job. Speaking to us here on the Citi Business Edition, my guest, Angela Trematin Jumo. She has worked in IBM. She has worked in Microsoft. Currently, she's established one of the finest African firms in Ghana, also doing some form of IT, technology, and what have you. The firm is Brainwave Africa Tech, and she is founder as well as CEO. Angela, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Milati.
Good to see you. This is the first time I'm meeting you.
Me too.
Yeah.
First time.
But I think I've read about you. I think the last time I was doing some work with the Bank of Ghana, trying to understand who their board of governors. I came across your name. You still there?
No.
So you've served your 4-year mandate as far as the board is concerned.
I actually did 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did 3 years on the board, and it was a privilege, and I really enjoyed it.
You worked under Governor Ernest Addison.
Yes.
I see. But how was the experience having worked as, one of the board members of the Bank of Ghana?
So I was on the board, so I remember when I got the call to be on the board of the central bank, I had to get clearance. At that time I was working for IBM, I had to get clearance from IBM to be on the board, and the mandate I had was to actually help them on the technology side. So I actually chaired the subcommittee on technology as well, and whilst I was there, we were able to do some amazing stuff with the technology department. So I think for me, when I look back, it was a privilege to serve on the board, and my mandate on the board was quite clear that I should really be the voice of technology on the board, and I think I did that very well. So I'm very happy about that, and I'm glad it's over and I can move on and do other things as well.
I can feel as if you are very passionate when it comes to technology, and every now and then when you speak, you always mention, the technology bit of you. And so for those of our listeners who are meeting you for the very first time, when we say Angela Trematin Jumo, who is she?
I'm a very passionate, hardworking. I love what I do, and you talk about technology. I never really studied technology. I'm not an engineer or anything. I started my career as a marketing. I studied marketing and French and went on to Harvard Business School to do the PhD. But I ended up in technology because technology now is a way of life. And I think that it was one of the best decisions I ever made, switching from being in the banking industry in Ghana and abroad and now moving into technology. So Angela is someone who's very passionate about technology, passionate about what I do, passionate about being a mother, passionate about being a corporate person. And in all, I'm just a very passionate person, and I bring my passion to whatever I do.
I see. Walk us through your childhood days. You should have some very interesting, childhood. What was your upbringing like? Where did you school? I heard you talk about marketing. I mean, just give us a sneak peek what the past looked like.
So my mom is an educationist. My father is an accountant by profession. My mom was Director General for Ghana Education Service and Headmistress of St. Monica Secondary School. My father was an accountant and Managing Director of State Gold Mining Corporation. I went to St. Monica's Primary School in Mampo Ashanti. Like I said, my mom was the headmistress of St. Monica Secondary, so I lived on campus. I grew up a little bit in Mampo Ashanti. It was such a lovely, lovely, lovely childhood. Big house with many, many trees. I was such a tomboy growing up. I think I climbed every tree in the house, and I have the scars to show for it. Secondary school, I did St. Monica's Secondary for I think a year, the first year. Then I went to Wesley Girls High School. So I did my O-levels in Wesley Girls High School.
So you started at St. Monica's and then moved to...
Yeah, I did St. Monica's Primary, and I think I did Form 1 in St. Monica's where my mom was the headmistress, but it wasn't a good experience. So
why?
You're the headmistress' daughter. What do you expect? Everybody wanted to.
So is that the reason you moved to Wesley Girls?
No. I think my mom was leaving Mampo Ashanti that time, coming back to Accra. So she took me and my sister to Wesley Girls High School. So I finished Form 5 in Wesley Girls High School, and then I took a gap year. I traveled. I did AFS. So I ended up living in Belgium for 1 year. That's why I speak fluent French. And then I did the 1 year abroad gap year. We used to call it AFS, American Field Service.
Yeah.
So
I remember when I was in high school, it was one of the groups that a lot of people wanted to join then.
I know. How I ended up going there, I never even applied for it. But anyway, someone nominated me and I ended up going. So I did AFS for 1 year, came back. My mates were a year ahead of me. So I ended up going to Achimota for my Sec 4. So I did my A-levels and my A-levels in Achimota, and then from there I went to the UK.
I see. So from Kumasi, a Kumasi girl, then to Cape Coast, then back to Accra.
So I wouldn't actually say I was a Kumasi girl because we were in Mampo Ashanti, which is not the same as Kumasi, but it was
very far away.
Yeah. So but my mom is Fanti. So it's more Fanti than Ashanti. Yeah, my father is Ashanti, but my mom is a Fanti. But you tend to come from where your mom comes from, right?
Yeah, the matrilineal system of inheritance.
I'm more like a Cape Coast girl.
But what kind of course did you read in Wesley Girls?
Wesley Girls, I did arts.
You did arts?
Yeah, I did arts. I never did science. I was never a science.
Technology was never in the scene?
No way.
Oh.
I mean, I couldn't even work out how to use my remote controls at home. So how I ended up in technology is just God's doing.
We'll talk about that very shortly. But from Wesley Girls to Achimota School, then
I went to the UK. I did London Guildhall University. That's where I did my first degree. I did marketing and French. Because, like I said to you, I spent time in Belgium, so I was now fluent in French. So I did that as a degree, and then I got married at a very early age. I have 2 boys, Jamal and Caleb. Jamal is an engineer. He works with a tech company. He's also in tech, and Caleb is a legal technologist.
So technology runs through the family.
Yes, and my ex-husband was also in technology.
I see.
Yeah.
Especially when technology was never in the picture. So let's talk about how the transition happened. But before that, what was your first job?
God, my first job, I think my first real job was with when I graduated, I worked for a company called GL Trade. And GL Trade was a software company that had a product that the investment bankers were using to trade. So if you remember in the past, investment bankers used to go to an open outcry, the pit, and trade, and then they all moved electronic. So I ended up working for a company that was a software company selling this online trading platform to investment banks like UBS Investment Bank, ABN AMRO. So that was my first real job in London. But I think prior to that, we did all the odd jobs. I worked at McDonald's. I think I worked for McDonald's one day and they fired me.
What happened?
I couldn't sleep well or whatever. I don't remember what happened. But we had some of those odd jobs before I got my first.
All part of the experience.
Part of the experience, part of the bringing up.
I see you are still listening to the City Business Edition on 97.3 Citi FM. My guest, Angela Tremartin Jimo. She identifies herself as someone passionate about technology, finance, and entrepreneurship. My name is Neat Latte. She has laid a foundation, giving us a rich background to where it all started for her. Let's now talk about technology. You seem so passionate about technology. What about technology that makes you passionate?
So it wasn't always like this. So after my stay in the UK, where I worked for UBS Investment Bank and ABN AMRO, I relocated to Ghana and I worked for UBA Bank, head of prestige banking, and then I went to GT Bank.
Right after you came to the bank, you were head of a department?
So I didn't come in as a newbie. I worked for UBS Investment Bank. I worked for ABN AMRO in the UK. So I came in at a very senior person. So I had paid my dues.
I can tell.
So I was head of prestige banking for UBA. And then I moved to GT Bank as head of consumer banking.
So coming from UBA, I just want to appreciate the trajectory. This was after the software company that you worked for.
So after the software company that I worked for in the UK, so the software company was providing the online trading platform for the investment banks. So one of my biggest clients was ABN AMRO that I used to look after. And I got poached by ABN AMRO to come and work for them. So I did an event when I was working at GL Trade, and the CEO of, I think it was Futures and Options, was at the event. Futures of Options at ABN AMRO was at the event, and he was like, hey, why don't you take a stab at banking and join our team? And fast forward, I ended up working for ABN AMRO, Futures and Options. And then ABN AMRO Futures and Options got bought by UBS Investment Bank, so I ended up moving to UBS Investment Bank. And then after a while, I decided to relocate because when I went to the UK, I always knew it wasn't a permanent move for me. I was always going to come back home because there's no place like home. So it was always on the cards for me to come back to Ghana. So at some point I came back, and that was when I started working at UB.
Quite interesting.
Prestige banking, and then head of prestige banking, and then I moved to...
So prestige banking, what does it mean?
Prestige banking, we're looking after high net worth individuals.
I see, the rich people.
The rich people.
And so from UBA, then you went to
GT Bank,
where you poached.
Yes, so Dolapo Ogundemo was the CEO of GT Bank. And you know, I was running... You see that little UBA building next to the big GT Bank on Patrice Lumumba Road?
Oh, yeah.
That was where I started the prestige banking from. So we actually opened that branch. And we used to get so busy that our clients would go and park their cars at the GT Bank car park. So I think Dolapo found out that was what was going on, that the clients from Michael's were going to park their cars at his car park. So I met him somewhere and was like, oh, I've heard about you. You're the lady running. Why didn't you come and work for me? Fast forward, the rest is history. I ended up working for GT Bank.
And so with this picture that you paint, will you say that Providence smiled on you at a very early age, both in life and in your career?
I think hard work, dedication.
Hard work, dedication.
And of course,
those are the key elements. And favor.
Favor of God.
quite interesting. But we want to talk about your experience or the things you had with IBM, Microsoft. So from banking,
I moved to technology. So it was by chance. So what happened? I was working.
For that, you weren't poached.
Okay. So in a way, I was. Let me tell you what happened.
Tell me the story.
I was working at GT Bank, and a client of mine who was running GE at that time, Leslie, called me and said IBM is in town and they're looking for someone to run their marketing for West Africa, and I think you'd be brilliant for it. And I asked him why he thought I'd be brilliant for a tech role, because I'm not a technical person. And he said to me, you know, Angela, he was my client, so I used to spend a bit of time with him, and he said, I think you'd be great at it, and I think technology is the next big thing. And knowing your passion and how you put your everything into your work, I think you will definitely survive. And I was like, okay, let me think about it.
So IBM was your first technology job?
Company, yes.
What were you doing there?
So I went home and I asked my mom what he thought about me moving into technology. And my mom at that age was in her 70s. She told me, you know what? You've been complaining about banking in Ghana that it's getting stale and you want a new challenge. And my mom said to me, technology is the future, and if you really want to make an impact, I think you should take a stab at it. And that's how I ended up joining IBM as the marketing lead for West Africa. So I was, in my role at IBM, I was supporting the sales team with their marketing activities on the continent. But it was a really good way to get my foot in the door when it comes to technology, because it gave me the chance to actually study a lot about technology. Because when you're doing marketing, you have to understand what you're selling. You have to understand how you can support the sellers. And the thing about IBM is that it's an institution that helps you to also learn a lot. So it's an academy on its own. So there were different courses that I had to take. And there was a lot of learning, a lot of long.
So we were learning on the job.
You were learning on the job, but at least I had the marketing background that they needed. I had the marketing and sales background that they needed, and they needed someone who was eager to learn and a quick learner, and someone who can really learn on the job as well. So I think that's what helped me. And when I got in, I realized that technology was not as complicated as they made it to look. And I also realized that technology has now become a way of life, and we use technology on a daily basis without us even knowing that we are actually using technology, because it's now become a way of life. So I enjoyed learning about the disruptive technologies, about blockchain, cybersecurity, AI. And the more I read, the more I did the online courses and got all the certifications, the more I got very comfortable. And I decided that this was home and I wasn't going to look back. I had made the transition from banking and I found my place in technology, and that's how it started.
I see. So you basically overcame your phobia for technology. I was about asking you which areas of technology fascinate you, but you've mentioned blockchain, AI, machine learning, and all those areas, cloud computing, all those areas around it. But how many years did you spend at IBM?
10 years.
10 years?
I did 10
a decade.
years in IBM.
I see.
Yeah.
What kept you moving?
The thing about IBM, like I said, it's an academy on its own, and you keep doing different things. And I didn't have the same job for 10 years. So like I said to you, I started my career in marketing. I was head of marketing for West Africa. I moved from marketing to the head of strategy for Central, East, and West Africa. That took me to Nairobi. So I ended up moving my children and I to Nairobi for 2 years as strategy lead for Central, East, and West Africa. We used to call it SIWA. I did that for 2 years, and then they brought me back to Ghana as the country general manager for Ghana. I did that for 4 years. And then whilst I was in Ghana, after the 4 years, I was now moved to the head office to be trained for a senior leadership role, and then I was brought back. So I went to the US as chief of staff to the number 2 guy of IBM, who was the head of sales, and he's currently the CEO of Kindle. multi-billion company. I worked for him as the chief of staff, so I used to travel with him. I used to sit in meetings with all the executives, and the role of a chief of staff is actually to groom you for a senior leadership role. So I did that for about 2 years in the US, and then they brought me to Africa to run Northeast and West Africa. So I was the CEO of Northeast and West Africa, 35 countries reporting into me, including Ghana, Nigeria, Morocco, Kenya.
A lot of countries under you.
Yeah.
So I can see a lot of rotations. I can see that your job descriptions were changing, so it wasn't that monotonous for you, and that is what kept you going. But talk to me about this bit. What would you say was your biggest success at IBM?
So I think I would look at the whole 10 years as my biggest success, because every piece of the puzzle came together to make the 10 years an enjoyable 10 years. So I wouldn't single out any particular role, but if you ask me which of the roles did I really enjoy, I'll tell you that I enjoyed the role of the country general manager in Ghana, and that I did that for 4 years, as you can see. And I loved being in Ghana because I was able to do a lot of innovative stuff. Like I started a coding class called Coder Dojo, where I would bring the children of my clients into the IBM office on weekends and teach them how to code. And what I liked about being the country manager was the bus stopped with you in that country, and you had the liberty to do other interesting things that really drives your passion. And my passion is giving back to the community. So I was able to do the coding class, and we brought in children from underprivileged background to the office where we would teach them how to use computers, how to do coding. So I think that 4 years in Ghana as the country general manager for IBM for me was the most enjoyable part of my 10-year tenure with IBM.
And at that time, when you were the head for North, East, and West Africa, you were the first female, the first African.
Ghana too,
How was it like for you in terms of diversity, inclusion? What's your thought generally?
It was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure. Every time you walk into a room, you have to prove yourself, right? Because people were not used to somebody like me having a role like that. And I think I had some really strong people also supporting me in the role and really encouraging me and helping me along the way. And I also had a really good team, very solid technical team and very solid sales team. So you are as good as the people that you manage, right? And I think everybody played a part in that journey to make it a success. I didn't do it by myself. I had a solid team behind me that really made sure that we succeeded. And I remember by the time I was leaving, every line in our books was green in terms of compliance, our revenue, everything was green. And I took a picture of it. I remember when I was leaving, and my boss said to me, this is the first time Northeast and West Africa, which is usually very low on compliance issues, this is the first time you've been able to achieve green. And for me, that was a big testament to the work that myself and the team had done. So.
Well, you had earlier spoken about the areas of technology that get you interested, and for me, I would want us to talk about artificial intelligence, AI, the fear that perhaps it might be taking some of our works away. People are just skeptical about it, the ethical dilemmas about it. Generally, AI, I don't know what you found when it comes to artificial intelligence. I just want you to give me just a word or two about artificial intelligence, and then maybe we'll look at other aspects of it as well.
So I think artificial intelligence, for me, it's a really interesting technology, and it's here to stay. And the sooner we embrace it as Africans and come to the table and be part of the team that is building the algorithms that are used to dissect the data, the massive data, the sooner we do that as Africans, the better it is for us. Because if we leave the building of those algorithms that are used in the machine learning to analyze the vast amount of data to others who don't understand our continent, who don't understand what it means to be black, who don't understand what it means to be in Africa. If we leave it to other people to develop it for us, we will be at a disadvantage. So for me, I strongly advocate for us getting comfortable with the technology because it's not going to go away. And we're in a global village. So if we sit and say we are scared of it, so we are not going to embrace it, then it will be at our own peril. So I'm a strong advocate of making sure that even at a very young age, we get the kids interested in AI so that they can develop themselves with this technology and be part of the team that is developing this technology, which is evolving. AI is not a new thing. It started in the 1950s and it has evolved up till now, and it's going to keep evolving. But what are we doing as Africans to ensure that we are part of the people that are designing this technology to benefit as Africans?
And I see a bit of bias in the AI bias in there, but you've worked in banking before, you are now into technology, you have some financial services experience. If you look at AI and where we are going as a country, how best can we as a country adopt AI in some of the critical sectors of the economy?
So AI can be used in all the different industries. If you look at education, I know that they have AI solutions that can help assist tutors in the classroom to even segment the children and apportion the right sort of curriculum for the right set of kids and aid the teachers in the classroom. In the healthcare, you can see AI being used. You've heard about drone technology. It's all being powered by AI. If you look at agriculture, we're using AI technology to analyze soil and predict crop yield. If you look at banking, we're using AI for fraud prevention and fraud detection. We're using AI for compliance, regulatory compliance issues, automating the compliance processes. So AI cuts across every industry and it's getting better. But what for me is important is one size doesn't fit all. So we should be able, as Africans, to look at how AI can be used to solve the pertinent African issues when it comes to education, when it comes to health, when it comes to agriculture. Can we as Africans develop AI systems that can help us address these pertinent issues? And this is where I see as all of us playing a key role. Businesses should learn how to adapt these AI systems and help their employees to learn about AI and how they can deploy it in the different business areas. Government should come up with the right policies to ensure that our data is kept safe, and also the regulations around ethical AI and all of that. So everybody, the communities that are adopting AI have to adopt it in an ethical manner. So there are a lot of stakeholders when it comes to AI adoption, and we all have a key role to play in ensuring that we can adopt AI in an ethical manner.
97.3 Citi FM, you are still tuning to the Citi Business Edition. My name is Ni Latte. My guest, Angela Chermantin Jimo, she is a woman with many parts, has a number of international footprints, having worked with IBM as well as Microsoft. Today, she's in Ghana running her own business, one that is into technology. We'll be talking about that business very shortly, but I just want her to speak to us about her stint with, Microsoft. So you moved from IBM, you went to Microsoft. What did you go and do there?
So Microsoft set up the Africa Transformation Office, which was looking at how technology is used in the different areas in Africa, looking especially into infrastructure, skills development, and also how we support the multinationals on the continent with technology. So I went into Microsoft for that role, and like every other organization, things evolve. I moved from the ATO to run the national. So the last role I had at Microsoft was the National Transformation Lead for Africa. So I was now working with government on their digital transformation roadmap. So we work with different countries, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana was not a focus area. So we focused on working with governments in adapting their digital transformation and also coming up with specific digital transformation roadmaps for these different countries. So I was in Microsoft for 2 years, and
as for that place, you didn't keep long there.
No, I didn't. But I look back and I say that you will hear me talk a lot about God, and I believe that every part of my journey has been ordained by God, and there's a plan. And now that I'm doing what I'm doing now, I see the reasons why I went to Microsoft. It wasn't for me to stay there for long. It wasn't another 10-year stint like I had at IBM, but it was part of the journey, and I learned a lot. I made some really good contacts, and these contacts and everything that I learned at Microsoft is helping me to do what I'm doing now.
I see. So when did you come to Ghana to set up Brainwave, which is your company? Initially, you were trying to tell me how to describe the company, so the floor is yours now. Talk to me about your organization, Brainwave. It's an African technology firm.
Yes, so Brainwave Africa Tech.
You are the founder and CEO.
I'm the founder and CEO.
You are the brain behind it.
I'm the brain.
What's the company about?
So we are actually a business partner for Microsoft and IBM, and that's what I'm saying, that there's a reason why everything happened the way it happened. So we are business partners for IBM. So if you look at how most of the OEMs are the original equipment manufacturers. OEMs like Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, Google, all of those. And most of them, the way they operate on the continent is they don't work directly with the end user. So if like the Bank of Ghana wants to buy equipment from IBM, it wouldn't go directly to IBM. It will work through a business partner. So the local business partner is the one who will do all the work with the end user, and then from there buy the equipment from the OEM and send it off to them. So like a middleman, and Ghanaians like to say agent. So I was describing this to my auntie, and she said, "Oh, so you mean you're an agent?" Yes, I'm an agent. So I'm actually business
an intermediary.
Exactly. So I am the business partner for Microsoft and IBM. So doing exactly what I did for IBM for 10 years, I'm now doing it through my own company. And I feel like I was being prepared all those years to do what I'm doing now. But aside that, we are also have Brainwave Academy, where we are also looking at upskilling and reskilling of
and that's a new norm in business, upskilling and reskilling.
Because when you look at the disruptive technologies, if you take AI for instance, you made a point about some jobs are going to go away with the advent of these new technologies. But what it means is some jobs are going to go away. The repetitive jobs are going to go away. The mundane jobs are going to go away. The jobs that use a lot of data will have to go away. But there will be other jobs as well. So
and even with the AI, some of the jobs will be automated by AI.
Yes. So those jobs, the repetitive ones, the ones using large sets of data, all those ones will be taken over by AI. But the ones that you need human empathy, you need human critical thinking, all those ones will still be there. And those are the ones that we have to start reskilling people for. So I like using the word redefining roles and jobs in organizations. So at some point we are going to become very efficient by redefining how we do different roles in the different organizations. So like I said earlier on, the ones that use a lot of data, a lot of repetitive things, AI can do those. But the ones that demand human empathy, critical thinking, those jobs will still be there, and we have to reskill our people to be well equipped to to take on those jobs.
And you talk about disruptive technology, but mind you, there is also, a digital transformation which a lot of Ghanaian companies are struggling with. And here we are talking about technology, talking about AI and all its attendant, elements. How do you see businesses in Ghana position themselves for, this kind of adoption, this kind of technology adoption, AI adoption? I mean, what kind of picture do you see?
So, when digital transformation and disruptive technology are not two separate things. You need the disruptive technologies to drive digital transformation, right? And some of the challenges we have in organizations when it comes to driving digital transformation, one of the very key ones is even having the right skills for people, for the roles that, so we use things like cloud compute and cybersecurity, AI services to drive these digital transformation. But if you don't have the right skills to have these conversations or even start implementing these solutions, then you will face you will face challenges as you try to drive your digital transformation. So one of the key things I see here is lack of skills. Then we talk about infrastructure as well. Infrastructure is also one thing that is hindering digital transformation on our continent. Let me talk about Ghana. So access to connectivity. You see how our lines keep dropping. All of that has to improve for us to be able to drive effective digital transformation, and even access to electricity without the issues that sometimes we have with our electricity. So if you look at infrastructure, you look at the skill set that is needed to drive digital transformation, I see that we have work to do around these areas. And also sometimes we have these legacy systems, old systems in the organizations that cannot run these disruptive technologies that you need to drive digital transformation. If we have very old systems that are not compatible with these new technologies to drive the digital transformation, like cloud computing, then it becomes more expensive for companies to adopt digital transformation. So these three key areas, in my opinion, hinder the progress and the acceleration of digital transformation. But the good thing is I can see a lot of conversations from government, from businesses around how do we improve these hindrances that we have to ensure that we can now accelerate digital transformation. And this is where companies like Brainwave, we come in to support in addressing some of these challenges so that we can accelerate digital transformation.
I see. So for how long have you been running Brainwave?
So Brainwave is very new. Brainwave, I started in December last year.
It's a new kid on the block.
Yeah, new kid on the block.
Just last year?
Just last year.
I see.
We actually opened this office in January. Last month. But don't be fooled.
I see.
I'm soon going to be announcing some good things.
I see. So talk to me about, the broader vision of Brainwave. Just about less than a year old, drawing inspiration from your experience from IBM, Microsoft, trying to implement some of the things you learned in the Ghanaian business landscape. Now, a lot of businesses start up. They face a lot of challenges. But I don't want to believe that should be the case of Brainwave, having, learned a lot from, your international footprint. So 2 quick things. Just speak to me about your mission, your vision, what you stand for, how you are looking at changing the narrative, the business narrative. I was explaining to someone that the person I'm coming to interview, an entrepreneur, a tech person, a finance person, if you put all of these things together, that's the business. Because business is always technology, it's always finance, and if you have the background to these areas, and I think you should be doing some good work. So what is the bright future? Share the good story with me.
Okay, so the vision of Brainwave is to be the partner of choice and the leading catalyst for Africa's digital transformation, empowering businesses and communities with innovative technology solutions that drive sustainable growth, inclusion, and global competitiveness. So that is a mouthful. But let's break it down. What we are trying to do is we want to be the leading catalyst for Africa's digital transformation. So if any organization is looking at drawing their roadmap for their digital transformation, they can talk to us so we can help them come up with a digital transformation roadmap for the company that we can actually help them to implement them as well. I already highlighted some of the challenges that we have when it comes to driving digital transformation on the continent and now bringing it home to Ghana. And we have solutions, we have ideas around how we can work with organizations to drive their digital transformation. Then we talk about empowering businesses as well. So the focus here is not just on enterprise businesses, we are talking about SMEs as well. SMEs provide 80% of employment on the continent.
And they're the lifeline of the economy.
And they're the lifeline of the economy. But when you look at the SMEs, three things that they lack: access to technology, access to new markets, and then access to finance. So I want to focus on access to technology for SMEs. And here we have solutions that are tailor-made for SMEs. At the moment, we are talking to a couple of real estate companies that are looking at how do we bring in a good CRM system. We don't have the budget of a big enterprise, but we do want something local, something that can help us address our CRM challenges. So we are working with them to develop something that speaks to that need. So for us, the SMEs is also a key focus for us. So when you talk about empowering businesses and communities, that's where it comes in. And then the innovative solutions.
All right.
The reason I'm not a business partner to just Microsoft or just IBM is that sometimes we realize that some of the solutions, maybe my IBM will be better with infrastructure, Microsoft is better with maybe cloud computing. So it gives me the flexibility to now look around. And aside all of that, I also have partnerships with other organizations that I can bring in their expertise. One of the things that Brainwave is doing and doing very well is collaboration. We are not going to reinvent the wheel. And one thing that I've learned in my life as a corporate executive is that the companies that do very well are the ones that are very good at collaborating. So a lot of the things that I'm doing with Brainwave, with my team here, is a lot of collaboration with people in the US, people in South Africa, people in Nigeria, and a lot of collaboration to bring the essence of the disruptive technology that works for us in Africa to bear in Ghana. So that is...
You talk heavily on strategic partnerships, and that your collaboration with other organizations outside Ghana is what you are bringing to bear. But earlier, you had mentioned the kind of team you work with. What does the organization stand for in terms of value? What kind of team members do you work with? And also, if you are talking about young people, especially young females who want to break the glass ceiling, as we used to believe. We are wrapping up, so I just want to pick your thoughts briefly on an advice, how people can take their lives into their own hands. We talked about favor. We talked about the God factor. And also, you talk about how passionate you are with some of these things. So, just tell me, just walk me through this particular journey. The kind of team members you work with, the kind of values you stand for, and what inspires you to work with all these kinds of people you have in your organization, and what the future holds for them.
Okay, so it's a diverse team that I have. So in Ghana, we are a very small team, and I'm building the team as and when we have demand for it. Because when you start an organization, you don't start by hiring 100 people to start with. You start with the key roles that we do. But I've been very intentional about the sort of people that I'm bringing in. I always used to say that who is the next Angela when it comes to technology from Ghana, right? And I'm sure when you walked in, you saw my receptionist. She's from Achimota School. Her attitude. So for me, when I put out the advert for the role, we had over 2,000 applicants. Wow. And it was very difficult to select. But I actually prayed about it, that God should send me the right people to work with. And I've been very intentional about the sort of people that, so you see that I have a few girls in the organization. some of them very young, and the whole idea is to try and nurture them, groom them, and teach them some of the things I have learned in my career, and make sure that I'm passing on that knowledge to the younger generation. Then for my sales team, I went for people that are a bit more matured, and then I supported them with young people who are also eager to learn. So one of the things I look for is attitude. And I look for people who have a teachable spirit. And when you say, what is my advice to people who are trying to break into technology and all of that, or even move from working for somebody to now running their own organization, I don't even feel like I'm running my own organization now, because exactly what the passion I put into working when I was with IBM and Microsoft, I worked for them like it was my own organization. And so now doing this is not difficult, because this is what I've been doing all my life. So what I will say to young people who are working for others and haven't started their own entrepreneurial journey yet is that wherever you find yourself, work like the company belongs to you. From doing that, you will learn so much. When the time comes for you to move on to maybe run your own organization, you'd have learned so much from giving to somebody else's organization that it becomes very much easier for you to start your own organization and give the same sort of effort, passion into this new role that you find yourself in. So for me, it's about always bringing your very best to the table, always going beyond the call of duty. Wherever you find yourself, know that it's not by chance. Know that everything comes together in the end to make you who you will become. And you shouldn't waste any opportunity. Put in your very best at every time where you find yourself, and just let God guide you.
I know that an organization is as good as its people, and so when it comes to leadership, how is it quite important in the scheme of things? And I'm asking you because of the kind of leadership position you've held in the past and how you want to impart it to the young ones you have here.
So leadership for me is a leader is supposed to serve the people. And one thing that I have learned in my leadership journey is to surround myself with the best. And as a leader, you should always know that you don't have all the answers. And you should just enable your team or create a conducive environment where people can bring their very best to bear. Because by doing that, you bring out the best in everybody, and together you become a big success. So leadership is not about you knowing all. Leadership is more about you serving your team, creating a conducive environment for them to evolve, creating a conducive environment for them to bring their best to bear, and together as a team you can win.
Thank you very much. That's Angela Tramantin-Jimo, a Ghanaian business leader and founder and CEO of Brainwave Africa Tech, talking to us about technology, talking to us about finance and entrepreneurship on the Citi Business Edition on 97.3 Citi FM. Angela, thank you so much for honoring our invitation. I wish you well.
Thank you so much for coming.
And no one for me, but I have to say please wait until I get my new car. Please wait until I find my real side. I'm gonna give me some love.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Babe, trust me, I've seen bigger, wider.
How big?
So big!
Hey! Friday, 11th April is the official launch of the new So Big Electromart showroom, Atomic Junction. Come, turn on the modern life.
Brush your teeth every day and night. Up and down and all around. Brush and feeling bright. Brush your teeth. Brush with mom and dad. Underneath and in between. Brush the germs away.
So then, cavity protection.
For 10 times stronger.
This advert is FDA approved.
Ago. Amen. We are gathered here to discuss the funeral plans of Fifi. As we have always done, the children will take the caskets, siblings take the catering, while nieces and nephews will take the...
Wafa, may I please speak?
Go ahead, Aaron.
I signed Daddy up on a family care funeral trust prepaid plan. They will be providing us with everything we need, from caskets, hearse, canopies and decorations, among many others. Yes, they will provide food and drinks as well.
That's such a relief.
Don't let you or your loved one's funeral become another emergency family meeting. Plan ahead. Call or WhatsApp us on 026 26 26 181 or visit our website at familycaretrust.com. Family Care, today's wisdom, tomorrow's peace of mind. Underwritten by Metropolitan Life Insurance Ghana Limited. TNC Supply.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Friday morning, welcome aboard to kick off on the City Breakfast Show with me, Edwin Kwakofi. We begin the bulletin with this former sports minister, Edwin Nilanti van der Poy, who has expressed strong confidence in the current sports minister, Kofi Adams, and the head of the National Sports Authority, Yao Ampofu-Ankra, to transform the maintenance culture of Ghana's national stadia. Nilanti van der Poy revealed that he is collaborating with the duo to prioritize the refurbishment of these facilities with a particular emphasis on achieving significant progress during Yao Ampofu-Ankra's tenure.
I have 100% trust in the Minister for Youth and Sports and Recreation, Minister for Sports and Recreation, and I have 120% trust in the new Director for National Sports Authority. And all of us are working together to make sure that the mistake of the past are not repeated. You heard him I think this week or last week, coming out to say the stadium will close down immediately for renovation. I've heard a crowd of folk wanting to go and play their league match at Tuba, so other. I've said it several times that our maintenance culture could be bad, but not with our sports stadia. Today, I feel so sad when I go to the Bukom Boxing Arena, because this was a facility that touches me. It's a legacy of the John Mahama administration when I was Minister for Youth and Sports. You understand? And after 8 years, it's almost deteriorating. You understand? The pool has been destroyed. The swimming pool has been destroyed. I'm sure if you take your cameras right now to Botema, you will not come back happy. The same with the University of Ghana.
You heard former Sports Minister Edwin Nilanti van der Poy. To the Ghana Premier League now, and in the final outstanding match week 21 game, Hearts of Oak suffered their third defeat in the last 4 matches after a 1-0 loss to Nations FC. Razak Simpson scored the wonderful decisive goal, securing all 3 points for the Abrankese-based team at the Tuba AstroTurf. Following the results, Nation FC climbed to 4th place in the league standings, while Hearts of Oak remain in 3rd. Let's hear from Kasim Okanse-Mingo, the Nations FC head coach, on the stunning game winner by Simpson.
I don't know how to describe the goal. The strike was very, very beautiful. Also, I congratulate him as a captain, dealer of the side. He has proved his worth.
Can you give us an update on his injury?
Oh, as I know, it's too early. When we go to the dressing room, I find out from the physio. As I know, it's too early for me.
Okay, so your next game, another tough game. What do you have to say?
Every match is a tough game. So we take the match one after the other. So we were good with one. So we are back in contention for the league title.
Kasim Mingo is the head coach of Nations FC at the Under-17 AFCON in Morocco. Cameroon and South Africa played out a goalless draw in Group B. In that same group, Burkina Faso are top and through to the quarterfinals after beating Egypt by 2-1. In Group A, Uganda beat Tanzania by 3-0, while Zambia and Morocco also played out a goalless draw. Later today, Gambia take on Somalia at 2 p.m. At 5 p.m, Angola face the Ivory Coast, while Tunisia play defending champions Senegal Senegal. In the day's final game, the Central African Republic face Mali at 8 p.m. Let's head to Europe now, where Enzo Fernandez scored the only goal of the game as Chelsea beats Tottenham to move back into the Premier League's top 4. Defeat for Spurs piled more pressure on head coach Ange Postecoglou, whose side stay 14th and remain on course to finish outside the top 10 for the first time since 2008. Here's Chelsea defender Levi Colwill speaking after the game.
Levi, good to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Still a bit out of breath. I saw you taking on the fluids as you made your way across.
Yeah,
the
yeah, it was a tough one out there, but it meant everything to me, the boys, and the fans especially. The fans are amazing out there.
It was lively, wasn't it? It was loud.
That was amazing, and they got us through that, I can tell you that.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Go on, describe a little bit more about that.
How loud it was in there in the last 10 minutes, and it was giving everything. It's giving the Tottenham fans stick everything, and that's what we need. And I'm not gonna lie, that gave us an extra 10 minutes. The runs at the end, the boys were buzzing because of it, and yeah, that was amazing.
Did it feel like a difficult game in all?
That was Chelsea defender Levi Colwill. From the excitement of Stamford Bridge, let's head to a downer in North London, where Arsenal defender Gabriel Magalhaes will miss the remainder of the season after the club confirmed he requires hamstring surgery. The Brazilian was substituted in the first half of Arsenal's 2-1 win over Fulham at the Emirates on Tuesday. Finish off with some NBA news, and Stephen Curry scored 37 points, outscoring LeBron James by 4 points to lead the Golden State Warriors to a 123-116 victory over the Los Angeles Lakers. Brandon Podziemski contributed a further 28 points with a career-high 8 3-pointers as the Warriors moved up to 5th seed in the Western Conference. James replied with 33 points for the Lakers, with Austin Reeves adding 31, including a career-high 9 3-pointers in the East. Giannis Antetokounmpo had one of his best games of the season with 35 points, 17 rebounds, 20 assists, and 2 steals while shooting 12 for 19 from the field and 1 for 1 from 3-point range, becoming the first player in NBA history to post that stats line. And that's the latest in the world of sports. For more on all these stories, visit citysportsonline.com. Kickoff is powered by Shell. Shell, go well. Zonda GH and Lesheho. Let's improve life. I am Edwin Kwakofi. The City Breakfast Show with Caleb Kuda continues.
Unique services, innovative financial solutions. We deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's share go, we improve your life.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Looking for a bank to rely on? Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Would we sick out to bank baby? No lie, only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
Citi, Mammy Fufu 20 Ghana. Me Pefufu and Quine. Cecilia, send your Ghana Conedia, your bonus 010. Meme one nuni, telecell dear. Yenim so be an your pay. And Nuntini I made for me bundle. Your data and call packages are F4. Yayama Wonkwa. Made for me bundles. Send you we need your home. But star 530 hash. Not top made for me bundles. Cecilia.
Telecell. Connecting energies.
There's no price like the ShopRite price. That's why we are committed to bringing you lower prices on all the essentials you need. Like 85-gram Mrs. Bector's Creamcast shortbread biscuit for only 9 cedis, 49 pesos worth, and 500 ml Vena still water for just 1 CD, 49 pesos worth. Never pay more than the ShopRite price. Prices valid until 6th April, only at ShopRite.
Gasaba. Smoke from firewood and charcoal is harmful and as damaging to our lungs as cigarettes. It can cause heart diseases leading to stroke and may even affect our eyesight in the long run. Grandmothers, mothers, sisters, wives, men, caterers, and everyone still cooking with charcoal, let's switch to LPG gas. The National Petroleum Authority has introduced the cylinder recirculation model in collaboration with local partners to make gas more accessible in all local communities. Whether you own a cylinder or not, join our CRM initiative. Simply show up at any exchange point near you with a small down payment to receive a filled cylinder or swap your empty one. Regular safety checks will be in place. Say ebisa musemo or gas. Afedia gasaba. Switch from firewood and charcoal to gas for a better and healthier life. This message is brought to you by the National Petroleum Authority and the Ministry of Energy.
Football's magic never fades, even from the couch. The sound of halftime banter replays at the touch of a button. Cheering with my chosen crew. Pure game magic. It's like I'm there, but with a better view from the comfort of my home. Priceless. From the March 3rd to April 30th, pay with your MasterCard, online or in-store, and stand a chance to win a unique priceless viewing experience of the UEFA Champions League final for you and your friends. MasterCard, proud supporter of non-stop fans. T's and C's apply.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio.
Yeah,
this is Citi 97.3.
Ready to party? You ready to party? It's summer time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. The Citi Breakfast Show.
Anyone know if you wanna, I give me say. Anyone know if you wanna, I give me say. Yeah, 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 yeah. I give me son, mama, yeah, pasa. Yeah, 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 yeah. I give me son, mama, yeah, pasa. This one I come. Down and play too. Yeah, anyone know if you want them, I give me say. Anyone know if you want them, I give me say. Yeah, 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 yeah. I give me some mama, yeah, pasa. Yeah, 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 yeah. I give me some mama, yeah, pasa. Yeah, this one I come.
yeah, the way ya. Easy man, go. Sissy boom, tabum boom, sissy boom, tabum boom. Yeah, yeah, the way ya. Easy man, go.
Jedouble Ambule. Adjoa Misa.
Yeah, yeah, the way I'm afraid you can't chop no phone when they true. Sissy boom, tabum boom. Yeah.
Oh man. You gotta love Jedouble Ambule. Aye. Eric Cropper, Gassem Tema. Today is your birthday. This is coming from your sister Roberta Esinam. Wishing you the very best. Ose Akwa Trensu. Denchem Wakechi. No, Ube Trensu Ase. Happy birthday to my husband, Peter Boy. My prayer for you today and always, is for God to forestall your life, restore your life. Oh, what's that? With many heavenly blessings. You are so loved and cherished. This is from your wife, Pearl Akuma Ayib, and baby Andrea. Ellie Klim from Taifa says, happy birthday to Dennis Dakwa. Eric is sending birthday dedications to Mrs. Cecilia Siedu of Bendu Village Resort. May this blissful celebration be a memorable one for you. Happy birthday, you add. Happy birthday to Martina and Chibuating. You deserve all the happiness in the world. Thank you for making a father, more importantly for making me a father, and more importantly being a good mother to our daughter. May God bless you abundantly. This one is from 9924 Nanatufo Boating, to his dear wife Martina Entry Boating. No, the rave master to the rave mistress. It's a raving birthday kind of thinging. I see that in. Yeah, man. Okay. Happy birthday to Benedicta. You're a quality analyst at GB Foods Ghana. Here's to many more years of love, and great accomplishments together. I'm so proud of the person you've become. May God's light continue to shine on you. This is from Dennis and Owa Henekweku Obeng. And the message is, we love you. Enjoy the day. Abeku Dennis, happy birthday. Greetings to Reverend Professor Godson Tete from Abeku Dennis. Okay. Wow, so many persons or people are celebrating their birthdays today. We'll be taking care of all of you. Send your messages 0549986996. There's so much to discuss this morning and reflect on. 0549986996 is the number to share your dedications and comments via. Some of you are drawing our attention to the expansion gaps. I see you. Expansion gaps on the Malam, highway. Yeah, is that problem still persisting? Because I've never missed using that road because of that. I'm surprised it still exists. But yeah, we'll keep hammering on it until it gets done. Happy birthday belated to you. Julie, how are you doing?
What you gonna say? What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? This one is a special one for you. You know yourself, right? And the Let's Shareholder campaign has come to you because you deserve financial peace. Life comes with financial challenges, but with Let's Shareholder, you don't have to face them alone. From now until April 30, 2025, we've reduced our interest rates just for you. Whether it's education, rent, or unexpected expenses, we've got the right loan to meet your needs. Simply WhatsApp or call Nana on 0270 040 799 0270 040 733. Let's make life easier together. Act now before the offer ends. T's and C's apply. Let's shareholders improve life.
Papa Superintendent,
Papa Superintendent. Oh man, mind your business. Dear woman, Zenith Bank recognizes the hard work and balance you maintain at home, work, and in your business. And we want to help you mind your business. Let's lend you a helping hand. Zenith Bank's Women's Desk offers tailored financial services for women, easy access to personal loans, business loans, access to financial literacy programs, and many more. Experience true support at Zenith Bank's Women's Desk, available at 37 business locations across the country. For more information on participating branches, visit zenithbank.com.gh. Zenith Bank Women's Desk, empowering women with financial solutions. Zenith Bank is certainly in your best interest. Jeduble Ambule, man, he's got me in the groove.
Jeduble Ambule.
Yes, sir.
Usually when you play this one, then you must add the other one.
Adjo Misa.
No, this is Adjo Misa.
No,
so
I
you must
started.
add,
Okay, this is Adjo Misa.
So
yes,
you must add a branch here.
Oh, me and branch.
Yeah, because they are, those songs, they are twins.
Me Bobby, there is something.
Me Bobby life.
Oh, see, great man.
Bibiara da control.
Come on, see, great man.
Anyway, before we get there,
yes,
Werner Mineral Water has taken a bold step by removing the seals from the cap towards environmental sustainability.
Right.
To reduce plastic waste, we have modified the design of our 500 ml, 750 ml, and 1.5 liter bottles by removing the cap seal, helping to minimize pollution and protecting our planet. But that's not all.
Yeah.
Werner bottles are made from BPA-free, eco-friendly plastic, ensuring your health and safety while delivering the same refreshing hydration you trust. Plus, the new lightweight design uses less plastic, making the bottles easier to compress and shrink for recycling. No seal, less waste, easy to compress, shrink for recycling. Choose Werner and refresh with a purpose.
Yeah, man. We should be getting ready for that brand here, you know what I mean?
Meanwhile, that your rich auntie, that chairman, that work colleague, you know the one I'm talking about, they are getting more than they sign up for, and here's why. It's because they're enjoying priority treatment, preferential rates, amazing rewards, and seamless digital banking solutions. With Access Banking, insurance, and investment solutions, the next big story is yours to write. Sign up for an ABSA account today and get more. Your story matters.
ABSA. And don't just watch, fuel every moment of passion like a true football fan. From conducting every pass, analyzing every play, and celebrating every goal like it's your own. That's passion felt, lived, and shared. That's priceless. When you pay with your MasterCard from now until 30th of April, you stand a chance to win an all-expense paid 3-day viewing experience of the UEFA Championship League final for you and your friends at the Aqua Safari Resort. For more, www.priceless.com/UEFA Africa is where to find out more. T's and C's apply.
Sagin Brarren, Sagin Brarren, Desumanago, Nan Plate, Desumanago, Nan Plate.
Yeah, attention to all the cybersecurity professionals out there. Okay, board executives, CISOs, CIOs, and CTOs. Sapient and Vision is a proud subsidiary of Innovari Limited, and they're inviting all of you to the CISO Summit 2025. It's the ultimate gathering of cybersecurity professionals. Branson and Bisafunya will look at them cybersecurity professionals conference EB almost. So join us on the 9th and 10th of April 2025 at the Labadi Beach Hotel Accra. This year's theme is Proving Strategies for Global Cyber Executives, Maximizing Organizational Security and Efficiency. Don't miss out on the chance to gain valuable insights, explore the latest cybersecurity trends, and network with top experts from around the world. Register now for just 5,000 cities. We have group discounts available for three or more, and registrations from a company. To register, partner, or become an exhibitor, visit the CISOsummit.com. CISO is CISO, or call 0572760472 to secure your spot today.
Mutual walkings, secrecy man. Be around their control, secrecy man. Malabi Abrante, secrecy man. Malabi Abrante, secrecy man.
And there's so many birthday celebrants today. My goodness. This one says happy birthday to Honorable Kalnite Kotego, Assembly Member of the Osudoku South and Constancy Youth Organizer for Clote Kole. Happy birthday to you.
Everybody who has any small position,
honorable.
Call himself honorable.
Yes, please.
we like posts with nothing to show.
He's an honorable man.
You know what it means to be an honorable person. As for Ghana, when you,
these days
when you are something small, no honorable.
These days the value is always.
We like posts. Meanwhile, we don't give it a post. We don't even do nothing.
No, this is why they try.
Me, I don't know him. I'm not even picking on him. But we like posts too much.
Yeah, man.
Whether they call you honorable or not, shouldn't take anything from you. Just do the work. Yeah, stop all these necessary titles. Flattering titles.
But it's like you are getting angry coming.
I'm already angry. They bought. People shout too much. Every day they want post.
Honestly.
They want post. They want look at how frustrated the president was at the tour. You know, and I'm happy the way the graphic did the story. For some reason we're not there. I don't know why. But if you read the way the story is written, he said the president was visibly furious at the sight of blocked drainage system and buildings erected on what were once natural bird sanctuaries. The president issued a stern directive for the immediate demolition of all structures obstructing water courses. Now here's what I like. He says, at each stop, President Mohammed's frustration grew as he observed how unchecked construction and choked drains had turned once free-flowing water courses into death traps. This is unacceptable, the president declared, his voice firm with resolve. These wetlands were nature's way of protecting us. Now, because of greed and negligence, people are building on water courses, and when the rains come, innocent lives are lost and homes are destroyed. This must stop. Now, to enforce compliance, the president ordered the Greater Accra Regional Minister to collaborate with the military and other security agencies to demolish all illegal structures obstructing drainage paths. At the wetlands behind the Malam Market, a designated Ramsar site, Kitech Motors illegally filled the area and began constructing walls. In response, the president ordered the company to bear the cost of removing the silt and restoring the site.
At their own cost.
The move, though drastic, is seen as necessary to prevent a repeat of past flooding disasters that have claimed lives and destroyed property. We cannot allow a few individuals to endanger entire communities, President Mahama said. Those who have built on watercourses have been served notices before. Now the time for warning is over. Mr. Standogbe, who is leading the government's flood prevention efforts, firmly dismissed the developers' attempt to justify their work on the wetland and reiterated the need for compliance. Last month, the anti-flood task force he leads commenced operations with a helicopter reconnaissance mission to assess high-risk flood areas, including Weja, the Sakumo Ramsar site, the Tema Fishing Harbour, and other locations. The area recce was conducted in collaboration with the Ghana Armed Forces and the Hydrological Department, providing a comprehensive view of drainage challenges and structural weaknesses in flood-prone areas. With dark clouds already gathering over the city, signaling the approach of another rainy season, President Mahama stressed the urgency of completing ongoing drainage projects. He inspected the Accra Academy main drainage system, a critical channel meant to divert floodwaters from areas such as Kaneshi and Bubiashi, and urged contractors to accelerate their work. Quote, Every day counts, the president said, stressing that if we delay, the same suffering will return. He also called on dredge masters, the company responsible for desilting major drains, to intensify efforts to ensure water courses are cleared before the heavy rains begin. Beyond government action, President Mahama appealed to residents to take responsibility for the environment. He expressed frustration at the reckless disposal of waste, particularly plastic, which clogs drains and exacerbates flooding. We must change our habit, he urged. Throwing rubbish into gutters is an invitation to disaster. Let's keep our drains clean and report those who flout the law. Now let me end. The president's directive is part of a broader strategy to tackle Accra's chronic flooding, which has for years disrupted lives and economic activity. While demolitions may spark controversy, the government insists that public safety must come first. For thousands of residents in flood-prone communities, the president's tough stance offers a glimmer of hope that this time the coming rains may not bring the same devastation. Now, let me put this in context, and I welcome Samens onto the show. You see, I am happy that the president is angry.
Yeah.
Because his tone from the report suggests he's frustrated. 2 days ago, the road minister was also frustrated with the slow pace of work on some roads. And he also gave some orders that 2 new contractors should come and do the road patching while the main contractor does the work.
Yeah.
A few days ago, I was in a meeting and my boss was frustrated. It's very good for leaders to be frustrated, because if your leader is not frustrated, it doesn't send the right signal.
Business as usual.
Okay, so now I'm going to say a few things. Number one, he's new, and this is his first recce on flood-prone side since he became president again.
Yeah.
And he's visibly angry. Now, that does 2 things, or that means 2 things. It sends a signal to people who have been appointed that you cannot do business as usual. So if you are the regional minister, or you are an
MMDC
or whatever,
like
the president cannot come every week to that side. So it means you have to channel that his anger into something. So if you take a drastic action on the basis of his anger, nobody can fault you. So there's no place to hide. Okay, that's number 1. But number 2, the president himself should translate his anger into appointing proper people.
Okay,
this is and here, luckily for us, the MMDAs for Accra have not been MMDCs. Is that the name?
Yeah.
MMDCs.
Yes.
They've not been appointed. For Greater Accra and for Ashanti have not been named yet.
Yeah.
I don't think Western region has been done yet. These are the most urbanized regions, I believe. And the more urbanized a space is, the more difficult it is to manage.
True.
Because look at these high-tech people. They will say, oh, we are providing jobs for people. We are building a factory. We are selling whatever. Usually, urbanization comes with a lot of challenges, but also opportunities.
Yeah.
I want to urge the president to channel his frustration into the marching orders he gives his appointees. Number 1, choose the right people. People who have a proven track record or who have promise in managing our urban spaces. Because he mentioned, people have built anywhere. Now, if the people in charge of spaces will allow people to build anywhere, only to wait for a flood season to come and then go and do demolition, then that's not right. So I want that anger to go into making sure that the people who are brought before him as names, he should interview them himself and be sure these guys can do their work. Because he will be frustrated for the next 4 years if the wrong people are because if somebody will take a bribe or he will allow himself to be bullied by some so-called companies who build anywhere or individuals who do anything, then there's no reason to be frustrated, because he can't be everywhere at the same time. The only way he can ensure that this encroachment on waterways and Ramsar site stops is for the assemblies to work. And we've said on this program, I think if you listen to this program for the past 5 years or 10 years, I think we've bashed assemblies a lot because we've been frustrated with the way they work. All right? So I really want to urge him to and look, I've made a suggestion before, I don't think it was taken, that the best quality people available to the president
should be the ones running at the local government
I am telling
level.
You, because you see, the reason he is going to Abofu, Achimota, Sakumono, Malam, Bubiashi, is that the people managing those spaces have not done their work.
They failed.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that the concept of an assembly has been bastardized to a point where it has reduced in quality and even quantity. So the size of the assembly is smaller. The quality of people available to it is lower.
Yeah.
The amount of resources available to it is also smaller. So the current assembly cannot deliver what he wants. The structure that has been put in place there, and by structure I mean the organization, the organogram, the technocrats there, the size of demarcation, revenue potential, that whole thing will not deliver the development he wants. So with a two-thirds majority, I think he needs to come up with some real structural changes in the way metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies are structured. Then, in added to that, the right people must be put, because you see, last thing before you play the voice.
Yeah.
If you have, I think having the right structure is even more important than having the right person.
Okay.
Because you can have I've always given this example. This man sitting here is a very good leader in the media space.
Samens.
Okay.
Good morning.
If you take him today with all his, in all his glory, Coca-Cola, Joy FM, Adom FM, Love FM, Leicester University, plenty, all that, Action Chapel, Citi FM, Channel 1. If you put him as and you make him the mayor of Kumasi today, he will fail. He will fail.
Structure.
The context and the structure will not. He will fail. He's a great guy, but he can't do it. So what I'm saying is that if you want to bring change to Ghana, you can get quality people. You're going to Harvard, they speak good English, they can write well. The current assembly structure, even AMA, he won't sit up. He may do well in AMA small, he may do a few things. But even AMA,
but if the money is good,
even that's So what I'm saying is that the president's frustration, which we are going to hear, is great. But the way the assembly system is,
that's where the problem is.
Accra Metropolitan Assembly as an organization is not a viable entity. The space is too small. The arrangement does not allow enough revenue. And then the caliber of people who are put there is also not good. So what I'm saying is that he should look into the NDC well and find people who have the capacity and capability.
And willing.
But also use legislature to rearrange and recalibrate the capital city and the urban areas.
So let me rope in what the president said, which is engineering and gendering this conversation. We'll get into more of that. But this is what the president has been saying during his tour of flood-prone areas.
I don't know who is doing this, but the person is narrowing the drain for you. I don't know if it's the one dredging it, but it's closing the drain and where the water collects when it rains. You said these are titled lands.
Yes, please.
This is not a wetland.
No, these are titled lands owned by Kitec Delta Limited.
But who gave them title on a wetland?
You work with Kitec. No. So the title land they have from.
You work with Kitec?
No, I'm with Bawe.
So you are the ones who sold the land to them?
Much of these lands fall within
you are the one who sold the land to them.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are talking about a Ramsey site that you have sold to a private company to Silt. And they are now filling the land and causing problems. And you are here defending it and say it is a titled land.
Not defense.
The Ramsey site is for Bawe Chiefs. So you are selling the Ramsey site to a private company, and you are here to defend the fact that the company is filling the place up and causing problems.
That's a very good question.
And you want us to continue listening to you?
No, please.
Please.
That's why we're asking the regional minister and the district chief executives to take a very tough stand on people whose properties are blocking waterways, because they're creating distraction for other people's properties and even loss of lives. Sometimes when it floods heavily, we lose human lives. And so it's not because we don't have a sympathy for people like that, but we must enforce the bylaws. And the point is, the assembly here, how did you sit and allow this to happen? And so we just have to caution citizens of Accra that there's going to be severe flooding because of the delay in these projects. But we have to do everything to alleviate destruction of property and loss of life as much as possible. But I've charged the Garrid Secretariat and the Hydrology Section and the Ministry to pay constant attention to make sure that all the projects that have been awarded under GARID to make Accra resilient from flooding are speeded up as quickly as possible so that we can minimize the flooding.
Jamaica, no, oh, we live things, say everything nice, too, we full of vibes and thing,
So that was the president, speaking.
Yeah, the interaction.
Yeah, an interaction between him and some of the officials on.
What I was going to say is that because he is new, it's good. If he were saying this in his 4th year as president, you say, yeah, what's this happen? But this is new. This is first. In this term, this is his first rainy season. So I like the fact that he's worn his hard hat and he's visiting the places to see the level of the problem. Now, and I'm using this as an example. So we had a meeting, and I'm using this. So we had a meeting, and then things are not going well. The MD comes, he's angry, so he talks. But then he makes consequential orders. So Bernard, you and OJ Omani, go and do this. HR, do this, do that. So what I'm trying to say to him is that I like the fact that he's angry, and you can tell that some of the thing has happened for long.
Yeah.
So it's not just a visit that will change it. So the one that you can give an order, move what has to be moved. But there are also structural things. The assembly that has sat down to allow this to happen. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You cannot order for a demolition or a dredging as a short-term solution and then go and sleep. Yeah. Do you get it? So yeah, you can do that and other things. So for example, if somebody is in a burning building, you take them out of the building and then later you do an inquest and say what happened for the fire to happen. So you don't form a committee when somebody is dying. Yeah. You save the person first. So I understand the issue of demolish, remove, stop work. Those things are critical. But those things are not structural. The structure is that the assembly that has sat down for years to allow this nonsense to go on is still the same. And by the way, people are working to put same incompetent people there because they are party loyalists. Do you understand? So if you don't get proper people to do the work, you will go back there next year and go and cry the same cry. So don't order things and then appoint. So I'm saying that you let the people apply for the job. Appoint somebody who has a proven track record, and then let the assembly itself be redesigned, because the way the assembly is, the whole thing is meant to fail. It can't deliver development. It cannot. The assembly structure, in my view, is archaic. And we have worsened it by reducing their size, diminishing their influence, reducing their revenue potential, and it's just become a job for party people. And you cannot bring long-term spatial development. For example, LUSPA, they have no power. On paper, they are there. Some technocrats are there. Who is the LUSPA boss?
I don't know.
Land use and spatial plan is there on paper. They don't have nothing. So the urban management is not working in Ghana. And I fear that the politics of the day will perpetrate it. Because you appoint party loyalists to go and run sensitive positions. Charlie, AMA, they can't do anything.
Is it too late to restructure the MMDs? Is it?
Well, nothing is too late, but I don't think that the restructuring is, if you like, a requirement before we get things done.
Change, yeah.
Even with the way it's structured, if people can take on their own responsibilities and be given the necessary resources, you understand?
Yeah.
Things will improve, because we have seen it happen under certain regimes. You understand? Where we have seen Kumasi make progress, where we have seen Accra make some progress. Okay? Now, what the president did, the president is a communications person, at heart. And what he did is what we refer to as leadership signals.
Right.
Okay. Now, why that is important, and I'll borrow a few words from, and these are the cues, both verbal and non-verbal, that leaders use.
Sending a message
to communicate their values, expectations, their vision, and influencing how people perceive and respond to them. You understand?
Right.
Now, I am so happy because he has been confronted with a certain reality which reality is expected to work its way into the way he processes the decision to appoint people.
Correct.
Okay, having seen what he saw, it would be strange for him to appoint people just on the basis of just political expedience.
People.
Reason is that when you do that, you are creating mountains of problems for yourself.
Undermining your own leadership.
Because you, the president, it's not your job to be doing the rounds. You see, what bothers me is when the presidents, plural, do these rounds. The same people whose duty it is to have gotten the job done will be following him and taking pictures and smiling. And they wear some Mr. Pia suit to be.
It's true.
You see, and they are smiling.
No, they'll be briefing him.
They are briefing him.
Giving him briefing.
You have failed, and the man is showing you, and you are happy.
It's giving
and
briefing.
Guess what? The president did this yesterday. Go and see today whether anybody is following up.
That's the question we should ask. That's actually a very good question.
Whether anybody is following up. And this Kitech thing, has been
an old issue,
since 1996, 97.
Since I was informed too.
It started small.
Wow.
When they were selling the truck heads. Small generators.
In that same area.
Yes, the same place. They started selling generators, used generators, then new generators, then trucks, small. The thing has become big. What that means is that we have had 5 cycles of governments overseeing this rubbish.
They can't do anything about it.
You understand? So when the wrongdoing becomes the normal,
and it becomes fashionable,
it becomes the culture.
That's the thing. Can you repeat that? When the wrongdoing becomes normal, that becomes the culture.
That becomes the culture.
And when you want to deal with culture,
yes,
lives may even be lost.
And Bernard, one other thing with communication in Ghana is that the fastest communication channel in Ghana is word of mouth.
Yeah.
So if word of mouth captures this as the way things are done, we are finished. And that's why the moment yesterday, or I think 2 or 3 days ago, Sky was making reference to our junction here, where the trotro drivers
now they are gradually converting it into a bus terminal, and they are watching to see if we do anything.
You understand? So if nothing is done,
it will become the norm.
Word of mouth takes over. That anybody who opens up go and stand here, you get trotro. This is how we have bastardized our spaces. So the president leaves his office.
Charlie wears a hard hat and reflective clothes.
Moves from place to place, and the same people are clapping. And when the president goes back to do
they also go back.
They also go back
and do their own thing.
I mean, we can't grow like that. Beyond this thing, there's the social marketing aspect that nobody talks about. The behavioral marketing, what to do, what not to do. How come government spends money, builds railings,
and people are stealing,
and people go and pillage the thing, take it? Look, somebody just sent me a message, and this is just a listener sending a message. So in
relation to what we are discussing.
Yes. He says that I saw some advertising people mounting an advertisement board on the railing on the overpass over the Abosilkai. The new one. Yes. They were putting up a billboard there.
The new one.
But that's the problem, because we don't even have people in assemblies now managing that thing.
No, they do.
We do. Or they are doing it quickly.
We have even architects. We are supposed to have architects in our assemblies. Every assembly is supposed to have an architect. Because they are not able to pay them, they take draftsmen, which is okay. But they are disabled at the time they are appointed.
Because the damage has already been done.
Yes, and nothing is done. Nobody empowers you. There's no market signal, even leadership signal, even from the leaders there.
So do you think the current assembly structure... Okay, let's change the question. What should change about the assemblies?
We should stick to the knitting. We should start by picking on what we have. Because but assemblies, as we stand now, we know that you can't just pour garbage anywhere. Or we don't need to change the structure of the assembly to know that you can't just pour garbage anywhere.
But if they are not enforcing,
that's the point. So I'm saying that stick to what we have now.
Right.
Okay, enforce what we have, but we don't enforce.
Why can't we enforce?
Because of the paucity of leadership.
As in, the quality of people running the assemblies are not good leaders, or they are not willing.
It's easy.
Or, no, let's push it. I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
Maybe they are not. There's no consequence for their inaction.
Precisely the point.
Because I'll tell you something. On Instagram, somebody just put a video of people pouring refuse into, say, a drain when it's raining, and it still happens. Okay. Now, if after that video was put out, somebody from an assembly said, Bernard, this video, where was it taken? Then maybe you mentioned the name. Which local assembly is this? Then they mention. And then the assembly people say, okay, let's go and find this person and send them to court. Do you understand? If that happened, more people may take videos and put it out when they see things like this, and then there will be consequence. So my argument is that the reason the assemblies have been ineffective is that there's been no consequence for inaction.
Yeah.
It's because they are appointed on the basis of political convenience or on the basis of performance targets. You get it? So there has to be, you see how now ministers are appointed, and if you look in the president, there's advisor for economy, advisor for governance, and these governance advisors are like supervising the ministers in a way. If there's nothing like that to ensure that assemblies are working in a way that is objectively verifiable, I don't know whether as a local government minister is going to do that, but there has to be some way in which you can say, after a year, this person who is running this assembly, what has he done? What has he achieved? Should he be changed? You get it? We cannot use voting to ensure that, because voting has its role, but if people are appointed and are supervised, and there's a consequence for failure, and we all know what success or failure is, I think we have a chance. Okay, as things stand now, the assembly league table comes, it's for bragging rights. They use some interesting parameters, education, sanitation, but it's not really binding. You get it? It's not so there's no, and I think that the president should put in place an arrangement where people who are manning assemblies are constantly performance reviewed, and then they are named and publicly praised or shamed. So we can say the following MMDCs have been sacked for incompetence. Put it in the daily graphic. 42 of them. Mention their name. Do you get it? That's how you do it. So now they'll be waiting to say every year the president is going to sack MMDCs who are incompetent. On the basis of what? On the basis of visible disorganization, filth. He can come up with the parameters. Cleanliness, urban, whatever. That's how you, because safety, when you appoint people, and there's no consequence for failure, in the same way he says people can park trotros anywhere and becomes a culture. People get pushed, and because there's no supervision and there's no consequence for failure, and because everything is politics, the culture will become incompetence. Look at our SOEs. Our SOEs now have a culture of basically they mismanage, they travel, they don't achieve anything. That's the culture. Now, if you don't empower SIGA or somebody to say, look, in a year's time, you're doing performance review. If you don't meet these 3 or 4 criteria, you are out. They will keep doing the same things they inherited, because, by the way, as I say, if you appoint this guy to run in your agency, the first 2 weeks, the MBAs, the Meba Hatches will come and tell them that be a quota no fish car, this is what you do. They will show him all the tricks. Now, if he's not strong and he doesn't have any inclination to succeed, he will go along, because they'll say, Charlie, this is how you make it here. If you come and try and rock the boat too much, he'll sabotage you. You get it? So if there is no pressure from the top that says by September 2025, first performance review, if you haven't met the foreign targets, you are out. And the president must put it on TV. President, local government minister, 42 district assemblies, first round of review. Yes, come and show us what you've done. Yes, why have you not done this? Okay, what's your defense? Yes, what is that? If you don't do, you see, this is how you do it. Otherwise, I know Ghanaians, we relax. We are not in a hurry to go anywhere.
That's the point I want
Everybody's connected to everybody. We all went to the same secondary school. We all go to the same church. Charlie, so Samuel's born a guy. Cool, Charlie, Samuel's be brother man. That be all. You don't do nothing.
And it's important that the conduct, the way the president is conducting himself with respect to the
built environment, discipline,
and local governance.
Local governance. Yeah.
I think he should upgrade it to institutionalize it. Okay, because he, as a person, will not have time
at all
to be doing these things. Okay, now let's check something for a moment. Henry Quarty, when he was made Greater Accra Minister, you see the kind of things he was doing.
Yeah, too good.
Can you imagine if the president at the time
was doing that, giving
him the validation and the push in the manner that John Mahama is doing today?
It would have been very good. It would have been very, very good.
That would have been the signal, the leadership signal that would have been sent to all
other regional ministers. Other regional ministers would have picked the same thing.
But what did we see? Party people started fighting him, cursing him, threatening him.
They took him, Charlie.
You understand? So this spirit of undermining thing, if the president doesn't institutionalize this supervisory role, that is what is going to happen. Because any effective showing of the MC or DC, he's going to step on toes. Some of the toes are powerful toes. So if they don't have the signal that the president is watching, then there's a problem.
100%. And I think you need to repeat that point, the Enricote point, because in Ghana, leaders are always looking over their shoulder. So if you're a regional minister or a mayor who tries to do something, because of the chuking mentality in Ghana and the undermining, if you don't get the support from the top, you will also not push. So it's important for the president to identify people who are doing the right thing and say, this is what I want to see. Do you get it? You say, if this is how I want to see it done, this is the way it's supposed to be done. Then the others will say, oh, okay, if the president is commending this, let me also do it this way. Because in Ghana, most leaders want to be validated. They don't want to, push themselves and then they will be. Whilst you are somebody sent me a message I want to read for you. In the name of naming and shaming. Good morning, Bernard. This morning, while going to work, the Roman school at Adenta village has gathered garbage and dumped it in a gutter in front of their school.
Oh.
I asked the traders around if they've seen what is happening, and they informed me that they do that all the time and they've confronted them before, but they keep doing it. This forced me to come out of my car and ask them of what they have done. Interestingly, some of the parents were asking if this is what I have not done before.
Sir.
Later, they came burning the garbage. I have a video of what happened this morning. Good morning. Then he sent it to me. So it's a school in Adenta. They've put bola in a gutter, and this gentleman confronted them. And after confronting, they decided to put fire to it. Charlie, I haven't eaten this morning, so don't send me bola picture in a gutter, right? But thank you for the message.
But there was a point some men talked about, which is the social marketing angle also, It's one thing having the good leaders. It's even another thing if you had a perfect structure for the good leaders to run with. But sometimes in canvassing the people to do the right thing, it can be so difficult. Look, we went to Glife to do About Town.
Charlie?
Sometimes there's a river there, a lagoon. People are filling it with refuse, burning the refuse, covering it with laterite, and then they are building on it. Over time, it becomes a whole community.
They do it because it's allowed. They do it only because it's allowed. They don't do. They do it because we have allowed it. They are not going to fight the authorities to get it done. They are doing because the authorities have looked on for them to do, and they are compromised themselves because in some of these places you go, the officer in charge is also part of the problem. Okay, but for me, while we are at it, we should be reviewing some of our laws governing our spaces. You understand? Why should anybody go and what do you call it? Fill water bodies and build on it?
Can you imagine?
They have filled water bodies, and then they will build on it. And there's some character sitting at the assembly who will give them the permit
to do it.
So, Mr. President, what you didn't do is that you should have fished out the human being that gave the permit for the people to build it.
Very important. Because the guy was still claiming the voice
very close to that place, the Kitech place. We had the Gihok Bricks company there, somewhere around the Malam. There used to be a Gihok Bricks company which has vamoosed. But you see, if we will look, I drove around in Shiaso to Santasi roundabout. I mean, I was embarrassingly surprised.
This is recent.
Yes. When we went for caravan. In Shiaso to Santasi roundabout, where we had rivers.
Oh, there are houses there now.
They have filled the whole, they have streams all over the place.
Now they are buildings
the opposite side of Dakojom going. Those of you know that they have filled the place and there are storage buildings there.
So it's not just an Accra thing.
No, it's not just an Accra thing. So now it rains and the flooding occurs and people die and say, hey, government is not helping. Government is not helping. But yes, the government is not helping because they
sat down for you to do this.
That is where they are not helping. It's not when you commit yourself to this
and then when
something that
when
has it's happening.
So you are saying that this is a natural river body.
Yes,
that they are filled.
Anybody who has lived in Kumasi will confirm this thing. From Dakojom all the way to Santasi, where we used to have the timber, where the timber trucks.
A house is not built in a day, so clearly, it's taken over
and
a
they
long
do
period
it nicely too, so you won't even see. They do it nicely.
You won't see that.
Yeah, go to La. The La chiefs are battling with this thing, where people are claiming claiming land. I mean, why? And there's no punishment.
Yeah. Sometimes if there's no consequence for inaction and for this type of thing, which is why I'm going back to the assembly, because see, the government at the local level is the assembly. Now there are citizens who take pictures, like this gentleman who sent me this photo. I've sent it to the MP for Adenta. Okay, so this guy, I know him. He took a picture of people who have put bola in a gutter, and then after confronting them, they set fire to it. He sent a picture to me. Now I have sent it to the MP. So maybe the MP will go there. What I'm trying to say is that, in addition to, so there's a citizen role here.
That's the point I'm making.
Where we who believe that the wrong thing should stop should now become the ears and eyes. Social marketing. There should be campaigns around stop putting water in whatever. But then if the assembly doesn't follow through, because the assembly is the one that's equipped and empowered to do the work. You get my point? And I'm saying that, you see, we need to scrutinize the people who are put in these assemblies as their heads. Because nothing will change if it's the same old approach of appointing people on the basis of party loyalty. A space is too important a place to be given to somebody who doesn't have leadership credentials. So I'm not saying go and get a building professional. Anybody, good leadership manifests in many places. You can be a good leader in media. You can be a good leader in education. You can be a good leader in health. Do you get it? But the person must have a certain understanding of leadership. Number two, the person must know that there's consequence to inaction. There has to be, the president and the government must institutionalize accountability.
Very important.
And performance. So it shouldn't be episodic. It shouldn't be for cameras. It must be, so the guy should know that September, performance review, they come.
Yeah.
And the performance review, there are 4 main issues. And I'm sure the experts can come up with the parameters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, cynicism will set in. Another round of lamentations. There will be flooding. People going to donate rice, bags of cement. We'll come back to the same point. Let's read some comments.
Some comments. Azuma says, good morning, team. I'm following your conversation on the president's tour of flood-prone areas. As a former staff of NADMO, I encountered a house built on a road at Domi. I tried hard to get the house demolished, but it was difficult because the house belongs to a party member. The problem is coming from the assemblies all over the country because those in charge of giving permits do it to get money. They know very well this is a road or a flood zone, but they will still give them out for people to develop. It's not easy unless you take the bull by the horn. Azuma sent that through. Emmanuel from Aoshi says, Dear Bernard, good morning to you all. I don't know if you've engaged the president or his advisors before, but please, this particular session of today's CBS should be recorded and sent to the president to listen. I agree with you 100%. It's very urgent. Albert from Abeling says, good morning. The teachers in basic schools are supervising students to burn refuse. I have images and videos. We are not correct. You are. Alpha from Obodang Obadan Kadi. Okay, good morning. It is sad that it must take the president to go around to check drains and to give instructions as to what is to be done. Recently, it was the Greater Accra Regional Minister going around to check street lights. Sad. We do not have working systems. There must be structures to ensure that those in charge would take up the task and perform their responsibilities. In Ghana, regulation is the main bane of our problems. I'm sure you want to say
It's
implementation. Yeah,
yes.
we need discipline to ensure regulation. Honestly, I don't think this is the work of a president or a minister. We need to be serious and to do monitoring all the time, as this will ensure demolished structures would not be reconstructed.
I need to make
again.
a point. See, Samens's point is that
signals.
You see, so it's not the president's work is not to go every day to do this work, but his point is that a leader. And I give an example from this week. We had a big meeting. And the meeting was not easy. Why? Because we are in desperate situation. So the leader set the tone by letting people know that, Charlie, nobody can rest easy. When he finished, said, Charlie, this week, everybody, we are all going. From 1 to upper 6. So the president cannot sustain visiting Ramsar sites. But he sends a signal. But you see, he has to institutionalize accountability. And look, I'll tell you two things. When he met the CEOs at the SIGA event, he said something. He said he will come and sit in the performance review next year.
Yeah.
And I like that. Because see, if Plessa White alone goes to say he's doing performance review, so the people say, Plessa White, when he joined this, his father was not, he should get out. Yeah, so the president said he will come with SIGA and the Minister of Finance, and they'll sit in a performance review of the state agencies. And then they will show your performance and say, you are Gihog Distillery, you are making losses when you took over. What have you done? I think that's the way to go. Or if you can, the Chief of Staff or the Head of Governance, Valerie Sawyer, you need to put people of consequence. You see, because if you don't do that, nothing will change. Nothing. Because a lot of the people, they've been hungry for 8 years and they're waiting for opportunity to eat. So if you put them there and you don't let them know that, hey, this is not. And by the way, the president has the best opportunity of any leader. No re-election. This is your 3rd time as president. If you think about it. First time, it was July to December 2024. Second time, July to 2012. Then 2013 to 2017. So this is 3rd opportunity. You understand what I'm saying? So if it doesn't work now, then it means that you are something. Yeah. So he needs to say that, look, and this is the other thing, he needs to appoint. Somebody said something last time I like. He said, you see, sometimes we say don't appoint political appointees. I don't say appoint political people. Because sometimes political appointees have a stake in success. And I took that point. So if you just appoint some neutral consultant, he doesn't care because he's coming in, you pay him for whatever. If you appoint somebody who's a politician, he cares.
Yeah.
But his remit must be that you are doing this work not on the basis just of politics. You see where the difference is? So there's no problem in saying he is an NDC man. He's been in the party for 30 years. Appoint him as MC. It's no problem. But he must be competent. And he must be accountable. Because if you go and hire somebody from some place and say, come and do the work, he doesn't really... You get it? So we have to balance it.
Yeah.
But the president must institutionalize account and he must make examples of people who are incompetent.
Exactly.
You see, there has to be some folk guys say, put it in the Ghanaian Times. The following MMDCs are being sacked for incompetence. Is it like, let us, or for non-performance, sack them. Then people will fear. Because right now, you see, one of the worst things you can do in an organization, and I know I'm talking a lot, is for middle-level managers not to be afraid that anything can happen to them. And I give another example. So let's assume I'm the head of online. I'm the head of production for current affairs. If after 3 consecutive bad shows of Eyewitness News, I don't get a call from the MD, I don't get a call from the GM, I don't get any reprimand from the news editor, then I'll say, oh, it means I'm doing well. Oh. If, so they come and read the news. Today, insert no play. Tomorrow, they read the news 2 minutes late. The next day, the news reader is buying short. And it's happening for 3-4 days. And then they don't receive any phone call. There's no meeting. They say, oh, Charlie, this place is good, man. Charlie, let me start selling some. It was like the work is cool. This is how it begins. Because culture is when the leaders permit incompetence to atrophy. Mm-hmm. So you set the signal by saying, Charlie, this job I'm appointing you as head of production. If you fool, I'll change you. If he does well, compliment him. But if after 3 days of non-fa, he doesn't get the call, he will continue. And all of us are like that. So the work of governance, you campaign for 8 years to be president. It's a tough job. But if taking the job to do, you got to do it. And keep sacking until you find the right person. Sack. Make example. Because the biggest problem we have in Ghana is incompetent leadership.
Yeah.
Incompetent. The difference between companies that do well is leadership. Nothing. I've done media for 20 years. I can tell you for free. It's not because we are talented people. It's the leadership.
Right.
Because there are people who know this work better than I do, who are not doing that well, because the company they are working for may not have good leadership. So it's not the quality just of the people working in the place. That is great. But if the leadership does not drive, the thing we did last week, it's leadership. It's leadership. That's the whole point. And when a company doesn't have leaders throughout, so the leadership at the top, that's headship, then there's leadership at the middle level, the framers, the Vivians of this world, and it cascades down all the way. That's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. We have a security guy. I was reading something Sun Chu said. He said, when the leaders at the top are too powerful and the leaders at the middle are too weak, the company will collapse. Because the vision of the leaders at the top, the president, he has a great vision. In DC is the Shah, it will collapse. He has a great vision. Media, heritage man, heritage caravan, middle level manager, shasha. Everything will collapse. Right. So there must be a balance between the vision at the top, which we are seeing, and the people who are put, because it's the MMDCs who are the soul of leadership on the ground. When you go to an MDC's office, you are afraid to pay a bribe. You should be afraid. You should be afraid to say, I want to give you. Do you understand? If I go to an MMDC and they summon me that I've built a house, I should be shaking. I should not be saying, sorry, you went to Presec, make a call and give him some money. As soon as he becomes easy for me to manipulate an MMDC, the system collapses. I should be in fear that I'm sitting in front of an MDC. It's like I'm sitting in front of the president. And that whatever I'm saying here, maybe he recorded it and sent it to the president. And there must be a certain signal the president sends that he will not tolerate corruption, he will not tolerate incompetence, so that his MMDCs know that any conversation they're having, so you can't have private meetings with me. If you're coming to my house, it's official. Why are you my friend? You're coming to my house. This is the place where it begins. They will come to your house in the night, can't give you a brown envelope, then they start fooling. Then you can't do anything. Come to my office, official hours. My secretary is there, writing minutes. Yes, what do you want? And by the way, this meeting is going to be recorded because according to my remit, the chief of staff says we should record all meetings we have with people who we work with.
Thank you.
You won't come and bribe you. Institutionalized honesty. Because they come to you after church and say, that's why it begins. So institutionalize accountability. The MMDC must account for his time. Julius Debra must be able to call 3 assemblies randomly and say, I want you to send me your work schedule for the past 1 week. Who have you met? What have you discussed? That's how it's supposed to be done. Keep them guessing. Because human being, when you leave him, even me, when you leave me, I don't do the right thing. Me, I want to watch Liverpool. I don't want to work. Everybody is lazy. I'm telling you, we don't come to work every morning because we are good people. It's because there's consequence for not working.
Yeah. But more messages. Solence is right. I attended State Experimental Basic School at Dakojom, so I know in Shaeso, Dakojom, Danyameti, UC, and its environs.
Papa, really, you are something.
It's very true.
Please, State Experimental is at Shaeso. Don't say it's at Dakojom.
Why? What's the difference between the two?
Dakojom,
don't say it like Accra. It's like Adabraka versus Usu.
No, actually, Dakojom
is like what?
It's a small fancy settlement in Shaeso.
Okay.
You know,
so like official town in Adabraka.
Yeah, small fancy settlement.
Okay.
You know, so we want to be in Shaeso, not Dakojom.
And Shaeso is more posh.
Yes, please.
Okay, I get it.
These are Kumasi locations.
So Golden Tulip is where?
Golden Tulip is in Shaeso.
Okay.
Ratray Park is where?
In Shaeso.
Capital FM?
Capital FM is in Shaeso.
Okay. Which one is there any famous building in Takwaju?
No, Dakujom is just a small place. Oh,
no small quarry.
Maybe about 500-meter radius.
Oh, small place.
Yeah, it's a small.
It's a suburb of
No, it's just a settlement of Fantis.
How many are there?
Oh, now it's grown small, but
okay.
it was a very small place. Only Fantis lived there.
I get you. I please read more comments.
But there are more comments coming through,
please,
and
somebody has also sent me a message that this same Dakujom place that I'm talking about. Somebody is building a fuel station.
Station?
I mean, why is the permit
which
giver?
part?
No, the place that the water, the streams used to be, that they have reclaimed. Somebody is building. I'm telling you, there's a senior person sending me this message that looks, I mean, they are even building. Look, they should go and remove that thing because see, the water table is very. Is it what? Is it low or high?
One of them.
You know, because it's a riverbed.
Yeah.
And you go and put fuel tank underground.
No.
People who are coming to buy fuel, they are buying water.
So the question is, who
is giving permit
who's
for
giving
that?
this permit?
Dr. Franka Mwakohene, this should interest you. I think you should pay attention to this.
Keep reading the comments.
Ashanti Regional Minister. So Angela from Agbogba says, "Good morning, Citi.
Good morning.
I think DCEs should be held accountable for issues in their municipalities or districts. We, the citizens, should also be made to pay for property rates to develop the municipalities. Property rates should also be used prudently." Citizen Kofi Pencil says, "Hi, Bernard and team.
Hi.
All that you just enumerated is what it is, and the president as well as the regional ministers won't do FOCO. You say it is also they won't do FOCO. It is also an avenue to generate money for the political parties. I hope and pray that the sector ministers go hard on the regional ministers for that to cascade down to the MMDAs. You say." MJ says, "Good morning. The problem of illegal structure starts from the assemblies. They issue permits for construction. No proper architect will design a building on a waterway when the client's site plan is literally a waterway. Most projects ongoing in Accra today are without proper permits." You say. Good morning, Bernard. Could you please draw the attention of the Ghana Highway Authority or Roads Ministry to the huge expansion gaps left on the Malam overpass? This is Awoshi Junction to Malam stretch. It is damaging our vehicles. Please. There was a similar problem on the Atomic Junction overpass, which was fixed a few months ago. So I believe this can be fixed. This problem has persisted for a while. It's a shame it's still there. Odote from Achim Suedro says, "Good morning, Bernard and team. Please, on the issue of blocking waterways, let the team go to Teshi Bush Road area along the Kweshi Lagoon. Churches, scrap dealers, and auto sprayers have filled the lagoon, and buildings are springing up like mushrooms. A woman once lost her life in a car during a flood some years ago, I remember, and I hope the authorities step in time before another disaster happens there." It was a doctor returning from rehearsal. Remember that story? It was quite unfortunate. I can vouch for what Samen said about buildings in Rivers at Dakujom. My elder brother lived in a rented house which was obviously built on a waterway. The compound was always wet with running water by the sides of the house and water dripping in rooms through walls. This is what we have reduced the survival of humanity to. No respect for the environment, but just human survival. Go to Chadoinla. All the houses built on Akpeshi have no building permits, but authorities are just reluctant to pull such buildings down. Authorities under the previous administration, the MCA and the rest, failed to do the needful, you say. The Glife story has come up here. Someone is confirming. Jimmy Jack from Dansuman says the Glife Lagoon is now a mountain of refuse as high as a 2-story building.
Oh my God.
I visited the assembly on countless occasions, even suggesting to them to block the access road to the lagoon with concrete pillars, but that they didn't care. They didn't bother at all. It is alleged they have a share in daily proceeds from the guys collecting monies for dumping refuse there. When they set the refuse ablaze, the smoke engulfs the entire community, stretching to last stop. I can't confirm this because I've done some documentaries from there. Last year during the rainy season, someone was pouring out their refuse into a gutter at Tesano. I can never forget that video. Hi Bernard, come and see the Kweshi Lagoon along the Bush Road. It has been filled all over. Kweshi has come up a number of times.
The point about social marketing that Samen talks about, I think is something we should also take up as media, where we also need to start showing more images to people of the consequence of this. I wanted you to segue into the road minister's engagement on some roads as well. Because again, I like the idea that president and ministers are moving out. It's a good thing. It shows the right signal. And on these two occasions, there are two roads we've been talking about a lot. The Tema to Fienya to Akosombo Road, and then the Tema to Dowenya through to Pram Road. Now, it turns out that because of debt exchange, those two roads are stalled, but the contractor was doing some work. But there are traffic bottlenecks occasioned by the poor nature of the road. So what he did was that he went to some contractors to say, start fixing that part of the road while the main road is done. Again, I want to use that as an example of something we need to see. My main beef with contractors is that when they are building roads, they are not cognizant of the convenience of other road users. It's basically like, I'm building you a road, so shut up. Let me finish inconvenience you. Let me make all your houses brown, and let me cause as much traffic as I can until the road is finished. Then you come and thank me. That's not the way to go. So I'm highlighting this intervention because I think it admits a number of things, that there could be financial shortages. There's no money, but that doesn't mean we can't use common sense. That doesn't mean that we can't do something in the meantime. You get it? And I think that it comes from people-centeredness. You have to be concerned about people. Ivy, where she lives, how she comes to work every day. Look, I don't know what would cause me to drive to that part. I know last 2 years we were driving to that part a lot because of the water relief. Since then, I haven't really gone because the traffic is too much.
Ivy is our sales manager, just in case.
So, and we've been talking about this for a long time. Citi Brothers Junction, they come and fix it, then there's another traffic bottleneck. Meanwhile, there are so many people who live there. So I don't know if you have the audio.
Yes, we do.
If you can
this is the roads minister on site.
On the two areas, the Afienya and then the Dowenya. Let's hear that.
And immediately I'm asking Oswald to also work on the Ashama runabout to beyond Michelle Camp, and everything we can do as a remedial activity to improve the surface of the road whilst we do the road, main construction. I ask them to do that immediately. It's an emergency work, so we are not going to wait for anything. They should move in as quickly as possible. As early as this evening or tomorrow, they can mobilize under the guidance of the Chief Executive of Highways, and let's see what we can do to limit the suffering of our people immediately. And then we will discuss further how we handle the two contracts. But I can guarantee you government is committed to completing this project because we know it's key for entry and exit of Accra. And the damage it's doing to our economy, the frustration, the pain it's causing is not acceptable, and we will deal with this. We shall fix this one also. No, INZAG is working on part of the road, and as I said the other time, they are working at the easiest portion. When this road was conceived, the reality is that it is the congestion from the Ashama runabout beyond Michelle Camp that was the main concern. There's no congestion at the Shai Hills, but that is where they are. And whatever we said did not. We were expecting that some level of demolition or clearing would have come closer to Ashama runabout. But as we speak, nothing has happened. That is what my disappointment is. We are not changing the contractor. I'm saying that at the pace at which they are working and the economic situation we have, an option will be to descope, to limit them to a certain section, and we see whether we can find other people who may be more responsive to our needs urgently. Well, some of them said that because of the debt restructuring, but when we met them, it turns out that INZAG was holding more money of ours than work that was done, i.e. the physical performance was less than the financial performance. Based on that, they have gone back to site working. I know eventually we may have to find ways of paying them. The same applies to BHM. It is about the debt restructuring. That infamous letter by Ken Oforiatta that we are not going to pay our debt, contractors should stop work, is actually the genesis of some of them. And that is a lesson to all, how do you call it, politicians. You don't just take a paper and write any letter when people are risking their money on things like this. But despite that, we are going to complete this project. And I'm once again appealing to these contractors, show commitment, because this is not the last work you want to do with government. You want a lasting relationship. Show commitment. And I want to once again thank those Ghanaian contractors who says we don't owe First Sky? Who says we don't owe Oswald? But look at when Sino Hydro decided not to continue Adenta to Dodowa. Look at the speed at which first how the Oswald had done. I mean, the whole alignment is done. They've done almost concrete works and other things. The reality is that the works that were done on this, the culverts and everything on this stretch, everybody knew it was First Car and others who were doing it. So I just feel that we can do better than we have done now, and I'm not happy coming here again to talk about the same thing. But I'm happy that at least there are some people who are supportive of the system, despite the fact that we know we have hard times as a government. Our finances are not in good shape, but we are not going to remain here forever. We shall bounce back. This economy would rise again. So whilst we are down here, we want to see you down here so we can rise together. So I want to thank these contractors who continue to work despite the fact that we owe them so much money. More than 20 billion we owe Ghanaian contractors today. That is certificate and paid. But guess what? Some of them are still on site. Not many of them, but some of them are still on site. And guess what? We have eyes to see those who are still on site, despite the fact that we still owe them money. On a rainy day, and when the sun comes out, we shall look favorable at them also, because they have been with us when things were tough.
So Roads and Highways Minister Kwame governs Abuja.
The reason I'm highlighting this is that I have been shouting a lot about these two roads. And for me, the fact that there's no money does not mean you should inconvenience people. You can't go and put a roundabout somewhere and abandon it and cause a traffic bottleneck. So I'm happy he's asked that these two contractors should at least do some work to allow the
remedial work.
Yes, it has to be more responsive like that. And I think there's a lot of this that needs to happen. As we speak, people who live on the Ofankoro say to me that the contractor has left site. I can't confirm this, but I'm told that following yesterday's intervention, at least on the Pram to Central University Road, the traffic is flowing a bit better. All right. The thing is that if you give somebody a contract and you don't let him know that you will supervise the conduct of his work, he will do anything he likes. Yeah. He must. You see, me, if I'm a headmaster, when I was in Presec, there was something we ask some teachers, they can appear at 11 p.m. at your dorm, because they want to check what you do. If 6 o'clock is the time I know you come, I'll do the right thing at 6 o'clock. But if you appear at 11 p.m., hey, what's going on here? That's the way it's supposed to be. You must keep them guessing, because people will not do the right thing until they are supervised. Yeah. And they treat citizens with a lot of disdain because they are getting their big money. So if the leader does not show that the convenience of road users is my priority, the contractor will not take it as a priority. Do you understand? If you don't send the signal that we will not tolerate this unnecessary traffic bottleneck, they will do anything they like, because you have paid them their money. And the fact that I owe you does not mean you can misconduct yourself. Do you understand me? That's the problem. It's like, oh, the government has not paid, so we should die. Why? Okafo Ndidi. I am saying that we need more on the ground signal sending. Yes, I agree with him. It's not the solution to all the problems in the world, but it's important, right? This they should do without leaving the others undone. Don't give somebody a contract and go to sleep. Mm-hmm. You must police the system. You must supervise. You must make sure, and there must be consequence for failure. Construction practices. People get up and block roads anyhow. You wake up in the morning, somebody has dug a gutter in front of your house. Why? I'm building a gutter. Are you sick?
You see, Bernard, the failures in our spatial planning, okay, or that whole environmental space, mm-hmm. it's one of our clear and present dangers. Mm-hmm. And of all the fora that the president is organizing, mm-hmm. I think that he needs to now bring together the institutions, correct. The Institute of Architecture, Institute of Engineering, Institute of Planning, right. And all these people,
and put them in one room.
For a discourse.
Correct.
Because the president only saw just a fraction
tiny bit
of the problem.
I'll tell you,
which problem has been scientifically documented by these institutions.
Can you repeat that suggestion?
You understand? So, Mr. President or presidency, it's time for us to have an engagement with all the institutions
in the built environment. So this is architects,
yes,
planners,
yes,
engineers, road
yes,
contractors,
yes,
building contractors. These people, and then the assemblies.
Yes, they have these things, so they have it documented, and it will give you proper insights. If you are going to depend on just the public servants, they are the ones taking the bribe. They are the ones giving the permit for the rubbish that people are doing.
They will say politicians go and come. So
you give permit for somebody to build on a waterway. Are you okay?
In a river, and the person building a story building,
and then they even they take money to even supervise the thing. To tell you which land guard is better. The way the woman is better. The same people, and these are the people that
you are talking as if you have an experience.
In terms of our organization, the governance structure, they are the people that the president is supposed to be depending on to
be implementing his policy on the ground.
You understand? So they show up, they wear political suit when the president comes. When he goes, they wear t-shirt. You know, the one that they write TUC at the back, they wear to a t-shirt. Then they come. This business as usual.
It's terrible.
And that's why, and we keep talking about this thing.
You see, there's always something we've been talking about. The posture of leadership and the attitude of workers is very critical for an organization's success or failure. When you enter a company, you don't need to spend 3 days to know if this company is serious or not. How people walk into the place, how they go about their duties, how they organize their space. It's the same thing. And I'm saying that the posture of our public servants has to change. And the way it changes is if the political leadership sets the tone. People must fear. And I'm not saying do reign of terror. Look, you cannot waltz into a company at 9:15 when reporting time is 8 o'clock. Buy food and eat. 30 minutes to news bulletin. Then you start opening your computer. You go home the next day. We do it here. It's like you've come late. Then you walk to the Adabraka market, go and buy a wache. Sit down and eat it like that. And when you finish, you squeeze the last wache and squeeze the oil out of it. And then you eat. When you finish, you say, hey, into news, no stories been here.
You will be home.
Yeah, papa stories. Why? Why do we do that? No, why do we do that? Because we don't want a culture of laissez-faire. We don't want a culture of complacency. A culture of no consequence. Now, in the public sector, this is what I see. People are obsessed with process and they are not interested in outcomes. So, the minimum they can do to get paid, they will do it. So, make him head of, give me an organization, town and country planning or something. The people there will corrupt him with their laziness because so long as they can get their per diems and do what they do, they don't care if things change or not because they are afraid of those political leaders go and come. So they are not driven to perform. So a political leader's job is to drive the civil servant to say, hey, I have 3 years old. And me, if I don't perform, the people vote me out. You can't do business as usual. Now, I'm not saying break the law for me, but if you don't move with me, I'll sack you.
Right.
This is what you need to do. Because the civil servant, he said, we were here when Kufuor came. We saw meals, so, Akufa do crowd by an hour over there. You get it? Minister Sally Akra was here. You are a new road minister, you are rushing. He was even older than you. I was here you understand? So, there is a culture of process. And they don't want to move a finger to get anything done. Yeah. It's a very bad culture. Yeah. And the so you see, political leadership is important. Because political leadership says, hey, president will sack me. So Charlie, we have to move. If I have 2 years to perform. So political leadership must exert pressure for a sense of urgency. Then civil servants will say, well, this sense of urgency must not mean illegality. Therefore, this is the right process to use. And let's do it well. We've been here for 20 years. If you try this way to work, if you try this way, it will not work. So we are not downplaying their duty, but we must understand the process they work with. Civil servants have an understanding of the institution. They have the memory. But a lot of them are not motivated to perform because they will be paid anyway. Yeah. And they will not put their name on the front page of the graphic because they are not NDC or MPP. You get it? So they are not motivated to be urgent. You get it? But that has its advantage because it can help you not to make the mistakes of the past. But that does not mean that Ghana must be running 10 times faster. If you go to a country at a level of development, our leaders should not be driving big cars and walking to office at 8:30. They must go to work at 6 o'clock. Because your compatriot in Dubai or China is working harder, even though he's ahead of you. He wants to catch up with America. You are backward. You don't have anything. And you are walking to work, you go and eat fufu first. You need a sense of urgency because your country is so far behind. So if I look at the posture of our leaders, we go to events and you come late, you're not serious. You do a national event and then government people are coming late. You should go there early because you are the one who needs the money. You are the one who must get it. So you can tell if a person is serious by even the time they come to work, by the way they walk around. A lot of people don't have any sense of urgency. Meanwhile, we want Ghana to develop. No, we don't develop like that. There has to be leadership must crack the whip. Be ruthless with laziness. Be ruthless with incompetence. Let people know that if you come between me and achieving my 4-year term, I will sack you. People must fear. Otherwise, they will be lazy and the country will be destroyed. And all of us will complain. So please, Mr. President, don't leave it at giving speeches and being angry. Read the Riot Act to your appointees and give them timelines. And send the incompetent ones' names to us so we can mention it on air.
Free.
We won't charge you airtime for that.
Free. We'll take a breather and then we'll continue. Some of your messages have come in. It's 35 after 9. Before we do that, though, for those of you who are not building on waterways, always go for diamond cement. If you are building on waterway, we are coming for you. But if you are building proper, you have your correct, permit and all of that. Anytime you buy anything, it has to be the very best. Diamond 42.5 hour grade cement was the highest quality cement on the Ghanaian market. We've been around since the year 2000. We've been putting smiles on the faces of homeowners, block makers, supported numerous constructions with high quality brand that's rated green by the Environmental Protection Agency. Now we have the affordable 32.5 hour grade, which means there is a good deal for everyone, great deal for your pocket as well. So if you wish to get diamond cement, please deal with us directly, okay? Locate us across the country. We are nationwide. We have factories, however, in Aplao, Takrady, and Buepe. These are numbers to call: 0244 313 368, 0540 111 978. Diamond cement is still as hard as a diamond. We'll be back after this break. We'll tie it up. Some of your messages are in. We'll bring them all together. 0549 986 996. If yours is here to join us, please send them. When we are back, we'll take care of all of them.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
As a busy professional, I struggled with back and neck strain from long hours at my desk. To improve my focus, productivity, and well-being, I sought expert advice from the CEO of Expert Office Furnish.
After being in the furniture business for 25 years, I can tell you two things that causes back pain in the workspace: bad sitting posture and not sitting on a good chair. I recommend to you the Genevia Beeper chair, the chair that helps you to sit right. When you don't sit right, it beeps for you to be able to sit right. The next will be the Enjoy chair. It takes every body shape and size. Buy a chair that will support your back and give you that comfort to be able to deliver on your job.
Expert Office Furnish offers molding furniture for comfort, productivity, and style. From seating to customized solutions, plus interior decoration services, they've got it all. Find them off the Atomic Hills Estate Road in Ashonman or call 0571 386602 on Facebook and Instagram at Expert Office Furnish.
Afi free Provident Insurance bema kwentwa on dese. If January equals March 2025. What the insurance one some share Provident Insurance and sa. Some renew and now we are for Penya Chadia P. Emufu coupons and Provident Souvenirs Papa B. Enti wo twede. Woni yen WhatsApp assistant or buy and chat is here. 024-242-6396. Obeso to out obetumi so akwa 15 branches. Ya to apete Ghana no mobia. Obetumi so ne brokers and agents no mobia din sa was. Fiatwanami and Sunny na Provident Insurance as some Ghana man some power Makonia Badi Wabambo Massa special for you for Kaisan Shaka
With Provident, man, you're covered.
Dear home, no interest for 2 years. Are you ready to step into your dream home?
With Lakeside Estates' exclusive offer, you can own your own home in just 2 years with no interest payments. This offers you affordable payments, flexible home purchase plan, quality homes, and lifestyle change. Choose from a variety of beautiful homes in any of Lakeside Hills clusters. Your future awaits you. Imagine living in a home you love with the freedom to invest in your dreams without the burden of interest. As your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year for the 4th time, we offer you hassle-free home acquisition. Call us today on 020-477-5043 or 020-477-5042. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call us now to learn more and schedule a tour for our available homes. T&C supplied. Make your dream a reality. Lakeside Estate. Quality homes for all.
Kids, no running. They grow up so fast.
Come here, guys. Who wants to watch their favorite show on GoTV?
Your family's favorite moments are made better with GoTV's shows. We've got loads of local, international, and kids channels, and all the football you need from the comfort of your home.
You can also watch your favorite shows wherever you are with GoTV Stream. Stick with GoTV and let's go together. GoTV. Love it.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
I am representing for all of humanity, for ordinary people, the working class, and all of them get to you. I want to them lead a day with them tallest a manifesto. Me no know them I like to come see them there. Why them dress up in a suit and tie, suit and tie. But me no see nothing I want. Them dress up in a suit and tie, suit and tie. But me no see nothing I want. Them dress up in a suit and tie, suit and tie. But me no see nothing I want. See them dress up in a suit and tie, suit and tie. But me no see nothing I want. They look very nice, dressed in their suit and tie, but they're not satisfied. The deals they make and the contracts they verify. Leave the street terrified. I won't leap a gun deal and them bag of cocaine, yeah. Back up in a suitcase for go on the plane. All in the name of political assignment. No resentment. All when the people come dress up in a suit and tie, suit and tie. But me no see nothing I want. Them dress up in a suit and tie, suit and tie. But me no see nothing I want. Them dress up in a suit and tie, suit and tie. But me no see nothing I want. See them dress up in a suit and tie, suit and tie. But me no see nothing I want. Yeah, them not really care about the underprivileged. The
41 after 9.
The favelas and the villages, yo.
Your messages are here.
Full of filthiness, them only
and we have some important announcements for you as well. But the song in the background is Suit and Tie, Stone Boy featuring Kabaka Pyramid.
Them keep it secret, but not reveal it to you. This
Suit and Tie.
All of my people, we hustle every.
We want action, action.
Not evil, just go get your pay. Just go on.
As a conversation. Now, if you're tired of HR headaches, simplify your business and Hot Jobs Africa with Hot Jobs Africa. As your one-stop HR shop, we handle recruitment, labor, outsourcing, expatriate management, consultancy services, and corporate training. As we offer staff busing and 100% staff support to boost productivity. Don't let HR hassles hold you back. Contact Hot Jobs Africa today. Number is 0303-980-362. WhatsApp 0204-336-004. Email info@hotjobsafrica.org. Website is hotjobsafrica.org. Hot Jobs Africa. Think HR. Think Hot Jobs Africa.
The youth them in the ghettos, the favelas and the villages, yo. Suit clean, but them heart it full of filthiness. Them only obligation and the profit in their businesses. Now the masses of the people feel it. Cause of the decision.
Dora sends a message. She says the keyword is accountability and the people to ensure it are proper leaders. We are seriously lacking in both, unfortunately.
Every day, when I do no evil, just go forget your pay. Just go on all of firm meditate.
Nana Ami from Pokwasi says, good morning team. Please, the contractor on the Pokwasi of Anko Highway has left this particular site again. Oh, how did they get the motorway job? You add. Divine in Dowenya. Please, I've been on Dowenya Road heading towards Tema for more than an hour. The traffic isn't moving.
Then I got wrong filler. Somebody said the traffic is moving.
Elizabeth from UEW. Good morning, CBS.
Okay, sorry, you are moving to Tema. Okay, this person was moving from Tema towards
Dowenya. Okay.
So, yeah.
Right. Elizabeth says, God bless you for the good work. I urge you to continue with this campaign, and I believe things will change. Okay, Elizabeth. Dora, come through with Dora already. From Dora to Zoe. Okay, in Medina. Zoe. Good morning, Bernard and team. Someone's mentioned the filling of water body. Someone is filling a dam at Ashalibotre Fulani area. Please send your team. Because it's scary.
Why don't you send us the video too? Because you see, we can't. If you are in the area, use your phone to take a video and send it to us. Send it to the assembly, and let's see name and shame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kojosego Ingpo Nkataman. So I want to add, there are beneficiaries of the mismanagement. It is not by mistake that our systems are broken.
It's true.
It's by design.
It's true.
If you identify those who benefit from the problem, quantify the people it hurts, and support those eager to address it, we would make great strides in addressing these issues. You
100%.
say. Good morning, Citi. Someone is building a filling station on the Aliu Mahama Road. The location is really bad.
Is this on the way to Aliu Mahama Road? That could be on the Buzia. I think so. I don't know. You need to check. Please, the railing on Achimota of Anko overhead has still not been fixed. There are homes, communities, churches, industries in waterways. Will they be demolished? Well, it's your guess. This is talking about the railing. You know when the vehicle overturned, a truck overturned?
Yes.
That railing was damaged and it's not been fixed.
I'm sure what fell off has been sold to some spare parts dealers.
So the vehicle, so what it means is that if another vehicle also loses control, it will also fall on the road again.
It will just turn on this side completely. And yesterday, I don't know if you saw this video on our network where our reporters chanced on a young man who had gone to pick a road sign and a street light pole that was broken. He was going to sell it.
Sell it to who?
He was just going to sell it. The police had to apprehend him. The indiscipline and it's just too much. It's overwhelming. Kofi, it will surprise you to know that a coordinating director or DC or MCE will instruct for a memo to be written for funerals of party-related people and other events. Meanwhile, the monies are meant for developmental projects. Oh, are you serious? Most of the coordinating directors and MCEs and DCEs do not have ideas to generate their own IGF. It's so frustrating.
There's one here on assemblies. Bernard and team, the level of complacency in our assemblies is deeply concerning. Some employees arrive as late as 11 a.m. and leave by 2 p.m. Can you imagine? Enjoying the few hours they are present, they spend most of their time watching YouTube instead of being productive. This lack of commitment is unacceptable, and we should be sacking people at these assemblies. Just AMA here. This person doesn't mention their name. Another one says, comrade, see what is happening to the Ofankopo-Kwasi highway? Refuse dump in the middle of the highway.
Oh, how?
Who handles this on our roads? The rains have started dropping and diseases are getting awakened due to such irresponsible actions. This is Nana Achina from the Jospon group of companies sending this message to me. Another one, I think the election of MMDCs can have an impact. They will account to the people, not the party. There's no consequence for non-performance. I don't agree. They will just come and continue what the MPs are doing.
Really?
You need people who are accountable. Will not just be. Elections not
whether they are appointed or elected.
For.
Aren't MPs elected?
Yeah.
MPs doing what you want.
Mauto says, Bernard Summers is right. The water body between Dakojum Junction and TUC Junction has been filled, and filling stations and shops have been built on these waterways. When it rains, the area floods. From Makeling Hotel to Inshaiso and Ahodro, the fuel station has already been built and it's functioning.
Here's another one from somebody who is in assembly. Says, imagine. You are speaking the truth to authority this morning. Monitoring and supervising is seriously lacking in all spheres of governance in this country. Never trust reports until you see it done and done well. Go to the district assemblies. They report to work at 10 a.m. and close at 3 p.m. Fridays and Mondays are mostly half day.
And they have institutionalized it. So if you are transferred there,
And you start working
you start working seriously. It means you are the one who is not correct.
It's a bad person.
Shadrach at Dowenya says, good morning, Citi.
Yeah.
The road from TT Brothers through to Dowenya must be given a serious attention. It's so sad and frustrating driving on that stretch. Kindly draw the attention of the roads minister to the following roads: Ofanko and Sawum, Midye Papase, Old Barrier Aplaku, Botiano Kokrobite, Adenta Dodowa, Tema Ho. These roads have officially been abandoned. Work on the Accra Cape Coast Road, Accra Kumasi, is progressing very slowly. The attention of city authorities and the National Road Safety Authority is on footbridges and the indiscriminate nature of how trotro drivers park at bus stops. Kweku, please. Koku says, please, Ghanaians should learn to write to the assembly heads to report some of these things. I know they usually act when neighbors come together to report such bad developmental practices. Okay, thank you. Didn't tell us where you're writing from. David from Adenta says, dear team, as part of our initiatives for National Sanitation Day, we must undertake the desilting of drains and the removal of silt from roads. This National Sanitation Day must be held on a Saturday and should be compulsory, mandatory, and active participatory for all. Let's prioritize these activities to ensure no flooding in Accra and regional capitals.
All right.
Kennedy from Cape Coast says, Bernard, I seriously disagree with you when you say Samens may fail at being a mayor. Those positions are managerial, and I think he will even excel based on his track record. I don't think you need any serious technical competence. He's taking it. He says
they will finish him.
He took it too literal.
Yeah.
I was using it as an example. It's an example I'm making. But has he been told he wants to be a mayor?
Zuwera Zakaria. Good morning, CBS team.
Morning.
Please, water has not been flowing for 4 days, in the last 4 days at Trasacco Phase 1. Could you kindly use your platform to inform the Ghana Water on our behalf?
Ghana Water.
Zuwera Zakaria.
Of Trasacco Phase 1.
4 days now.
Please go and check.
God bless you.
That's all.
Good morning, team. It's been 3 days we've been without power at Katamanso.
My God.
There's been no official communications to the people. These people don't care about their customers. At least there should be a briefing about the update on progress of work. Funny enough, when you fill out their forms for meters, they ask you for your phone numbers and emails. My question is, what do they use them for?
It's because it's officially required. They don't want to write to you. See, the way this works. Formality.
Kwajo from Spintex, good morning.
Morning.
Please, this is the Spintex Kotobabi EcoBank traffic lights. This is about it. For almost 3 weeks, the traffic lights are red and green.
Turn on at the same time.
Okay.
And nothing is done about it.
Oh my God.
In the mornings, the police directs the traffic. It's very worrying. Already, some of the lights were not working. Red and green.
Spintex.
Stop and go at the same time.
EcoBank.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Right. So
everything boils down to leadership.
And
leadership. And the president is sending all the right leadership signals. And he needs more people with positive energy around him. I mean, you see Standogbe, always with the president. You can hate Standogbe for any and everything, but you can never hate him for laziness.
Nevertheless. If I wanted you to hear his audio, so that audio.
He was also.
Stan's problem is that he gets work done
too much. We need more people like that. So if he has to,
I've worked with Stan. I have worked with him right from school through GIJ. I've worked with him. His problem is that he gets work done. So if the president surrounds himself with such people with that
inclination,
yes, you're able to end. That should also direct the president in the choices that he makes to manage the assemblies. Because as for the assemblies, Mr. President, if you fail with the selection, you have Wabregu.
I want to hear the interaction again. The president's one with the people who were building at the wrong place. Play it for us to hear.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know who is doing this, but the person is narrowing the drain for you. I don't know if it's the one dredging it, but it's closing the drain and where the water collects when it rains. You said these are titled lands.
Yes, please.
This is not a wetland.
These are titled lands owned by Kitech Delta Limited.
But who gave them title on a wetland?
So the title land they have from.
Do you work with Kitech?
No, I'm with Bawe.
So you are the ones who sold the land to them.
Much of these lands
No,
fall within
you are the one who sold the land.
Yes.
Yes. So we are talking about a Ramsey site.
Yes.
That you have sold to a private company to silt, and they are now filling the land and causing problems. Okay. You are here defending it and say it is a titled land.
Not defense.
The Ramsey site is for Bawe chiefs. So you are selling the Ramsey site to a private company, and you are here to defend the fact that the company is filling the place up and causing problems.
That's a very good question.
And you want us to continue listening to you?
No, please.
Please.
That's why we're asking the regional minister and the district chief executives to take a very tough stand on people whose properties are blocking waterways, because they're creating distraction for other people's properties and even loss of lives. Sometimes when it floods heavily, we lose human lives. And so it's not because we don't have a sympathy for people like that, but we must enforce the bylaws. And the point is, the assembly here, how did you sit and allow this to happen?
And so we just have to caution citizens of Accra that there's going to be severe flooding because of the delay in these projects. But we have to do everything to alleviate destruction of property and loss of life as much as possible. But I've charged the Garrid Secretariat and the Hydrology Section and the Ministry to pay constant attention to make sure that all the projects that have been awarded under Garrid to make Accra resilient from flooding are speeded up as quickly as possible so that we can minimize the flooding.
Just a mana, some sumana, papa, none of people, my missing there. And so what are you? Only about them from us and power. What we are fine.
Minutes to the top of the hour. Sunkwa Jeduble Ambule. Nanama says, Bernard, I live at Dansuman and the wetland that comes all the way to Dansuman is seriously being filled for construction. The whole Keep Fit down is full of houses when that place is supposed to be a wetland. It's sad. Also, the scrap guys are taking any metal from this country. I just noticed the metal covering a telco or ECG cable in front of my house has been removed. This is dangerous as people can fall into it. A country called Ghana. You add.
In the meantime, kindly wish my beautiful, loving, and amazing wife, Mrs. Sedem Makoto Dakon of SIC Insurance, a happy and blessed birthday. On this day, the kids and I want to express our gratitude and appreciation for all you do to fill our home with love, happiness, and peace. May the Lord fulfill your heart's desires from the next 365 days. With love from Fred, Brianna, and Zachary.
Lovely. I wish you a day filled with joy, laughter, and all the things you love. Grateful to have you in my life. You are not just my brother, but also a true friend. Have an amazing year ahead. This is coming from Esinam Krapatego to her brother Eric Krapa of Gasem Tema. Happy birthday.
Apostle water to no so. Once a son of one, I'm a sure I can show you
Help me wish Gloria Kokroko of Lekama Tishia happy blessed birthday. Happy birthday to the one and only Nati Bongo inside Atitema. This is coming from Boajo.
Who said the colonial mentality?
First top of the hour. My name is Caleb Kuda. I did this with Bernard Avler, Samuel Atamensa. Many thanks to Fred Tetejabano, Sheba Arba Beni, Samuel Akom, Edwin Kwalkofi, Daniel Squashy. Thank you for doing the listening. My name is Caleb Kuda. It's top of the hour. Stay safe on the road. Have a blessed weekend. Keep your dial with us. School Madam. She'll be here later this morning to take very good care of you. So please stay with us. Relevant Radio always. It's your dial of choice. My name is Caleb Kuda. Thank you so much for doing this with us. Sheba Araba Benning is here with the news at 10. Good morning, Araba.
Good morning, Caleb. Hello.